Hello and welcome back. It has been a minute. We stepped away from Dungeons and Dragons for about 6 months, and now we
Yeah, it's been 6 months since
return.
the last video.
Yeah. Good news. A few updates to start with before we get really into the heavy portion of the now Friday Ironheart Merchant Company. Firstly, the book is three-fourths of the way completed, and we are making our steps. Unfortunately, the editor was right, and we will probably be publishing in 2026. So, sadly, there's not much I can do on that. But otherwise, all is good. Beyond that, we are officially also coming back with all four campaigns. Technically, three of which are active campaigns, and then the DM campaign. So look forward to that, as well as a soon-to-be-named campaign coming out on Saturday. That is going to replace our Saturday Ironheart Merchant Company that is now moving to Friday. However, we have yet to name that group, and thus those videos have yet to come out. Soon, though, soon. However, I'm not running an ad for those, and that would really irritate these players as they have their own interest for tonight. So, instead, I've kept them waiting for a little bit, around 6 months. I think it's about time we get back to it. Welcome back to Saturday, Friday, the Ironheart Merchant Company, Session 62, A Gobsmacked Jealous Fool. Where we last left off, the party had managed to clear out, in air quotes, a massive stronghold that had supposedly been ran by the Black Rose Thieves Guild that was plaguing a couple of the Snowbeard cities. Specifically, the one that of the House of Stronghelm had taken up residence within. However, as the party found themselves arriving at the exterior of the stronghold, supposedly in the middle of either the northern or southern continent of Selmica or Celsica, they found themselves surprisingly shocked at what they found, as quickly Syndra would go and realize that not only was a soundproofing spell set up, but on top of that, when looking inside, a massacre seemed to have happened. As the party came to this realization, Syndra decided to head further in and investigate things, while the party, for the most part, waited outside. Actually, sorry, switch that, my apologies. James and Rollman went inside while Syndra waited outside, if I remember correctly. Because Syndra was the one who
We all
noticed
stepped
people
into the
coming
first
in.
room and then explored from there.
Yeah, but Syndra
Point
was the
guard.
one who noticed what was
Yeah.
coming if at the very beginning or at the end, that something was waiting outside when you guys were leaving. But as
And G
James
stepped down.
and Rolman investigated further, Syndra, finding a supposed Odysseus reference that the DM still stands by was just happenstance. Funny, but happenstance. I did not intend for that. The party decided that while they did not like the look of it and the sounds of crying and the creepiness, as well as the viscera pretty much everywhere, the stronghold wasn't much worth sticking around in too long. Grabbing a few items here and there, the party quickly found themselves exiting before whatever had done what had done there could return. As they returned back to the city of I think it is just the city of Stronghelm was the name of it. I'd have to double check. I can't recall off the top of my head. But returning back to the city of the clan Stronghelm, or House Stronghelm, the party found themselves once more speaking with the gal who had ran the door-to-door thieves guild. I was letting her know about what had happened, quickly warning her of their destruction. She just as quickly broke the key and destroyed seemingly the ability to travel there, almost as swiftly refusing or accepting that none would know her name and explaining to James that exact fact quite clearly, as it did not dawn on James at first. As the party, though, continued on, they decided at that point, having seen enough of the large city itself, to head off towards Last Spire, the city and home of Clan Frostbuster. as James was curious to see what had happened after rumors of different situations going on over back home. He would return with the party and the ship itself, as well as his crew, landing outside the city and being greeted by Jurgen, the one of the old city guard that served when James was a young noble. Getting a basic rundown of what had happened to the city and a quiet nod to Jurgen's inn that he had opened, the party was kind of let go head towards the castle itself, as the few guards that had joined Jurgen to give James and the party a somewhat armed escort would find themselves disappearing into the crowd once more. James and the party, quite perplexed by the fact that many of the active guards seemed to have draconic ancestry, seemed to kind of allow that perplexion to continue as they headed into the stronghold and found themselves sort of guided by the standing guards to the throne room, where as they came in, and a slight correction from last time, as it was a misunderstanding on my part for what I spoke of, as James and the party would see three figures standing in this beautiful yet quite quaint throne room of his youngest brother, supposedly, Dreg Leathermail, sitting on the throne, leather mail, sitting beside him, a young-looking woman that looked almost identical to what James remembered his mother looking like when she was youthful, recognizing this as his not older sister, but his eldest sister, as James being the oldest of the family. And lastly, the other individual, of course, that was spotted was the advisor, dressed quite quaintly, that we didn't get too much into a description of before session got back into it. So, with that, we return back once again. The year is 65,007, the month of the planting, or April. It is the 15th day, and it is roughly around the afternoon, with a pretty heavy rainstorm going on outside and a very cold rain kind of beginning to erupt. You can feel the thunder rumble across even the ground itself, and lightning flashing through a few of the windows that kind of guide or seem to kind of glimmer up at the top of the throne room. James, Syndra, and though Rollman isn't here right now as he is doing homework, unfortunately, so he was given an opportunity to go deal with before his session, all stand in the throne room as you look about. And allow me once again, James, to kind of give you a full explanation of what you see as you look about, and Syndra as well, having been here before, as well as Rollman, although he's not here. As you look, you see a few statues, about 4 of them, 2 to either side, of notable members of your family that were historical figures. Some merchants, some proud members who did some great battle or deed in battle. The founder of your house, as well as your father's own imagery. As you look
His
about,
shrunken head still on Tindra's hip.
a couple pillars kind of dot the very edges of the room. The stone itself seems very gray and simple, very cold to the touch. However, on either side stands a very big hearth that seems to warm. A few paintings of different members of the family, as well as the current imagery of the family, which, as you look over, both James and Syndra only count the family members that James had mentioned on the way here to Syndra and Rollman. I believe it's 6. Let me double check my numbers here, as it's been a minute.
I'm not helping.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 7 family members, plus your parents. As you look about, kind of looking over at Drag himself, as you look him up and down, looks to be maybe about 15 to 20-ish, very young, very no beard on his face, very bright blue eyes. His hair is somewhat, almost, it's very white like your own, but you do see it's muddled with little bits of gray in there that clearly show he is, A, not a noble, but B, immediately recognizes he's not of your own bloodline, being that the snowier white hair is very common amongst the nobles, since they're very big on keeping their blood pure.
Now am I going to argue that that might not be one of my father's bastards? No.
Fair enough. As you look him up and down, he seems to be wearing what looks to be a little bit of light leather gear, a leather torso piece. It seems to be similar to armor of an adventurer, with a very heavy cloak that you can see that kind of stuck onto his shoulders. That seems to cascade way longer than his entire body, as he's almost sitting on it like a rug, basically, or a towel. It seems to have that white fur that you're familiar with from the bearded cold bears. Um, on his side and sitting beside him, you recognized the young Jamelin herself, looking about 80-ish, looking years old. Very simple in appearance, though she seems to be glimmered up in a beautiful blue ice dress that seems to glimmer with diamonds and gemstones. Her fingers seem to glitter as well. She looks to be somewhat, as you look at her face, almost not as if she's paying attention to anything, just staring off into space in your general
Does she
direction.
seem drugged?
Uh, you can roll me a sense motive.
Oh, I swear to God, if they drugged a sibling, I'm gonna have more issues than just dealing with them. Uh, I'll
Oh,
28.
shit! Our first roll of the night, and it's a fucking nat 20. Jesus Christ. Um,
Can I just get the
she
sense motive of everyone here now?
No. She is not drugged. As you've had experiencing plenty of merchants who've tried to drug the other merchants in deals, nobles who've tried to mess with you in your past experience. You're not only familiar with what it looks like, but pretty familiar with how obvious the signs are and on the affected. As you kind of look at this appears more to your mind as like a charm effect from a spell. As there doesn't seem to be heavy breathing. She seems very calm and relaxed, and it seems almost like her vision's been clouded over, rather than in a sense that her mind is clouded in a sense overall. Um,
Hmm.
as you look over, though, and the final figure you see, um, this, what looks to be kind of darker skinned Stormbeard, kind of stands there. A very dark blackened beard that seems to almost glimmer with bits of coalish gray hairs that kind of pop up throughout it. He seems to be dressed up and down in deep red gemstone or in a deep red gemstone cloak that almost covers his entire figure. Um, his eyes seem to have a glow, an orangish glow to them as they kind of look about, but he seems to be very calm and confident. Standing about 4'8", so a good bit shorter than you, James. He looks to be a little bit older by the looks of his beard and his overall a slight hunch forward. You'd guess him probably to be a bit more in the venerable age group, even though he tries to put on a younger appearance. You can see, even around his mouth, he seems to have kind of laugh lines as he looks at you.
I missed the last portion of that. I apologize. My mom decided to pop in.
Oh no, no problem. What part where'd you get drop off at?
The last figure. Uh,
Oh, the whole figure. Okay, gotcha. No,
sorry.
you're
She.
fine. No, 100%. So as you look on, he looks to be this Stormbeard with a blackened beard that seems to kind of glimmer with bits of almost this black hole like coloration to the hair that seem to kind of be spotted throughout it. A little bit of laugh lines around his mouth. He looks to be a bit older. You'd guess him to be a venerable Snowbeard, roughly around 4'8", 4'9". His
Fuck, even the old
orangish
people are taller than
eyes
me.
kind of glimmer as he looks at you. His slight kind of stands there with a bit of a hunch as his red gemstone cloak covers much of his body. Something I didn't say, and I should have noted this. He does seem to have some sort of like cane underneath the cloak that he's kind of resting slightly forward on as he kind of watches you. A smile on his face. It seems quite friendly, but also as you kind of feel an eeriness from that earlier sense motive that he is definitely a threatening figure. Almost like a standing. You get almost the feeling of standing in a room with a Tyrannosaurus Rex when it's hungry, and you are covered in
Do
honey.
I? Yeah. Do I recognize the man at all?
Um.
Given I grew up here, was he here when I left, essentially, or
Uh.
before then?
Oh God, I gotta remember what we used to. Did we? Was it intelligence or was it just history checks before that we used to
Knowledge
do?
history.
Was it not? Yeah, I think it was just. I'll take knowledge, history, or knowledge, nobility. I couldn't remember if that was outright or not. No. Also take knowledge local, depending on
Uh,
the 9.
fucking
Uh, he's a Stormbeard. From your memory, there were a few that served at the castle that were like young knights and such. He doesn't look like anybody that's familiar, but the fact that he's risen to such a high position in a Snowbeard court is a little peculiar, because the Stormbeard's whole thing is that they did not believe in what the Snowbeards did for their dwarvish mentality when they split apart. Some chose to worship Sarazeki and found noble houses, while others wanted to continue to be free and explore the world.
James wishing he was born in one of those families instead, but oh well.
James's player not knowing about the Stormbeards before at the beginning of the campaign is probably why.
Absolutely. Okay, so the advisor is up there and dressed simply still, from my understanding.
He is in a like a ruby red glimmering cloak that kind of covers much of his
Okay.
body. So
I'll just. I know I walked in with the tower with Grandsire's the Tower Shield of Grandsire, as I'm slowly trying to name it.
yeah, you're still full armored. Oh, I think there's a name I put for it in the book. Yeah, you're fully still armored though. Syndra still looks like Syndra, and Rollman's fully armored. I assume hand close to the handle of his blade. By the way, Syndra, if you want to roll, yeah, I was gonna say, remind me of your eye, and the what it was for how that worked.
For that's
Uh,
Syndra's heart.
or for shape changers or for the Morin.
Is it only
Depends on-
Morin specifically, or is it all demon folk?
So I believe it's Morin Zonde because it's the ones that had problems with my clan.
Oh yes, yours is the one with the the slotty, the slods. The yes,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
all three.
it's people my patron specifically hates. I can see marks.
Okay, and you, I will confirm. You do feel a sudden hatred as you look at this individual. However, you do also feel your hatred calming, almost as if something outside of you is cooling your temper, forcibly. You can't tell immediately what it is, but as you do recognize this individual, this is either a Slod or a Morin or a member of House Zonde.
Okay, and I know it's
I
not a
get poked
Morin.
with a fucking stick.
When I see Morins, I see a tattoo on them, so it's one of the other two. Okay.
What was
Um,
that, James? You get what stick?
I get poked with Syndra's staff.
Oh no. Well, give.
I
Oh yeah,
know.
and it's all. Cinder's like puffing a pipe, just staring at this fucking guy.
As you kind of walk forward, kind of slowly coming to a stop, keeping the traditional noble view of how you enter a throne room. James, having being so used to caution and wanting time to think before he really gets to the point where he has to speak, kind of slow walking as Cinder kind of starts smoking lightly. Rollman seems to kind of follow Cinder's eyes, kind of watching the advisor as you guys finally make it up to the end of the carpet. As you do, James, go ahead. Go ahead.
James will smile softly,
Mhm.
breaking the merchant facade that is usually on his face, the customer service look of, "Hi, how are you today?"
Mhm.
And just nod, nod before greeting them all, going, "Greetings. It's good to see my family once again. I would hope to speak with you less formally, but it's good to see you, Jalen, looking like mother by the day, looking so well."
Oh. Drag looks at you. Drag looks at you and kind of looks over at the at your sister and looks at you again and goes, "That's not your mother. Oh, that's not our mother."
No, looking like mother every day.
Oh,
Is
says
what
he
I
kind
said, young
of.
man. I haven't met you yet, and last I knew you weren't my youngest sibling, you must be new. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He nods, and as he's about to speak, you see as suddenly a quiet seems to kind of almost eerily creep over the entire room as the fires in the fire pit kind of blow slightly, and the advisor speaks up and goes, "Yes, Drag was found amongst your father's unfortunate bastards, and with none other able to claim the throne with such power, he was given right to rule." As he kind of looks at you and kind of looks back
Oh,
at
then
Syndra.
I will apologize. We'll have to speak about that at a later date, because Grandsire had a specific rule for who would rule this clan next. I only found out about it after speaking with him. Sadly, he passed shortly thereafter, but I have completed the task as best can be done.
As you say that, you see Drag and the advisor's eyes kind of like lock for a second and then look back at you for a moment. Drag looks very confused. Advisor speaking with.
But I do believe you should wait to be prompted by the person you are supposed to advise before speaking. My advisor hasn't spoken up, as I gesture to Syndra.
Drag looks over and at the advisor with a big smile and goes, "Yeah." And you see as he says that, his mouth seems to almost go silent as the sound comes out. And the advisor kind of looks over at the young lord and then smiles as he turns and looks at you, James, with what seems to be a very warm smile. His slightly yellowing teeth kind of showing his age. Sure, what are you trying to catch?
I'm seeing how honest this man's about to be to me.
Okay. 16? Alright. As he speaks, he goes, "I speak for the young lord as his regent, as there isn't another who can sit for him, and have continued to rule and advise him in his place. A young man such of his age should not be given full right to rule, as it would cause nothing but chaos without proper education and guidance." And you get the sense he's telling the truth. He's not. There's nothing that outright sounds like a lie.
That part's entirely true. No 15-year-old should ever be leading anything other than maybe a bake sale.
He kind of smiles at you and as he says that though, and goes, "But I understand that you may not be as familiar with our customs these days after being so gone for so long, young Lord James. I hope you're not seeking the throne of your younger brother. We cannot afford such a civil war amongst the family with such preparations going on right now."
Oh, no, not such thing as a civil war. I'm just making sure Grandsire's wishes were respected. And checking to make sure the territory is ruled properly as per what Grandsire would want. If it's not, then I would have to step in and ensure that his education is going properly, and possibly leave someone here to keep an eye on things properly. I am a busy man, and I have been gone for only 3 years, but 3 years is still quite.
He nods at that and goes, "Of course, and I assume now that you're back, you'll want to advise the young drag properly and position yourself as the head of the family should. I, of course, respect that." As he kind of bows slightly as he slowly walks his way down the steps and kind of gets right about a foot from you, kind of like looking you in the eyes as he does, slightly bowing a little bit and smiles
Designating
up
him as
at
a
you.
dodge target for AC. I don't care that this isn't combat. I'm expecting attacks.
Sandra is
Be damned.
he stands back up as after bowing and goes, "And I, of course, assume you'd be open to a family banquet now that you've returned to meet with all of your siblings and discuss what the family will do, and allow me to catch you up on the family's affairs so that you may execute your position as the head of the family properly, and I may advise the young Lord Drag as well."
We will discuss doing that. I'll hopefully be able to have at least a brief conversation with my 2 siblings here. But I would love to meet up with the rest of them. I didn't get to meet with them much as they were growing up, or as I was.
He nods at that and smiles and goes, "Perfect, then I will be happy to have you for dinner with the rest of your siblings."
Oh, no, I'll host us all on my ship. I insist.
That is outside of the land
It
or
can
the
be within the
city.
walls in an hour.
I mean, that's understandable, but we don't have any place to put it, and I hope you understand that the hesitation makes me think that you think that your own family seeks problems with you.
No, your phrasing is what gives me a bit of hesitation. I've been around many who used
Ah,
similar and had other meanings.
my apologies. I meant we plan to host you, or we wish to host you and your siblings, as in Drag wishes to, and have a family banquet together. Not in the sense that I wish to eat you. I don't think that I could, given your size comparison to mine, as well as these old teeth, as he kind of like lightly taps one of his yellow teeth that looks to be like slightly jiggling.
I'll give a friendly chuckle. Well then, I will graciously accept.
Perfect, as he nods and again goes, now I imagine you wish to speak with your siblings alone. I do not wish to take up all of your time, as he kind of starts to climb up the stairs slightly up to the throne again and leans down to whisper to Drag. He seems to then lean over and whisper to young Jamelian, and smiles and goes, I will take my leave now. If you don't mind, I do apologize. My old age does keep me from standing too long at these meetings, as he starts to kind of like slowly scuttle away out through a door behind the throne that you see kind of opens up.
Yeah.
I tap James and I look at him and I look at the advisor, almost like Syndra wants to follow him.
I'll give a curt nod.
Alright, well, I got my approval to speak. I believe we have things to talk about. Please allow me to come along. Two advisors, we have a lot of information to share, as I will not take no for an answer.
As Drag just sees you walk past, no, it doesn't even seem the same thing. Do give me a bluff check, though, please.
What are you talking about? They have a lot to talk about.
It's just not the things that they want to talk about.
It says the advisor catches on to this more than Drag.
Because of this, I have a plus 13. That will be a 32.
You hear Drag just kind of looks at you and kind of waves you away as you walk past. As you start to walk down the hallway, going into the door, the guard kind of looks at you and sees Drag's hand kind of waving you off, and just kind of shrugs. You hear the metal kind of move slightly as he opens the door slightly for you, and as you walk through, closes it behind you. As he closes it, you do notice the door disappears and goes back to looking like a wall. As you are now in what looks to be it's a narrow, air quotes, hallway for a Snowbeard stronghold, but it's still about 15 feet wide, and fully decorated with like simple stone sculptures and carvings into the wall. Well, simple for the fortresses you've seen. It's still quite glamorous by any other standard as you kind of start walking down the hallway, following after the very slow to walk figure who's only about 20 feet in front of you at this point. But before we get to that, Syndra, and what will probably be an explosion in James's worst nightmare come true, James,
I'm hoping not.
as Roloman kind of stands next to you, continuing to kind of keep himself somewhat at ease as he stands behind you, but similarly as you kind of look over your shoulder, noticing his eyes are kind of watching all throughout the room at all times, Drag kind of looks at you and goes, so you're Dad's oldest.
Yes, I am my father's son, for all the good that does me.
It didn't do me much good. Man
Doesn't
was
do any of us much good.
executed before I knew him.
Consider that lucky, I'd say.
Maybe, he knows. But hey, I got a throne out of it. Better than living in squabble.
Well, I can imagine that. As I will slowly approach, walking up the steps, giving him a smile and looking towards my sister, as she has not said a damn thing, and that's a little odd for any of my family, I'd assume.
Well, in her eyes, well, they look less clouded over as you get closer. It seems to be watching you with intent, but otherwise seems to be kind of keeping her mouth shut overall.
And no greetings from you, or manners, sister. I know you were taught better.
Drag kind of like seems to stand up slightly and kind of push himself in between the two of you as he kind of wiggles in. His cloak, well too long for him, and as you kind of see him step on it, he slightly pulls himself back a little bit as he kind of tries to step forward in between awkwardly as he gets. And he is only about 3 feet tall as he looks up at you, trying to puff his chest out slightly.
Lad, I wish no harm to any of my kin.
He looks up at you and goes,
Why would I ever?
"That's not what I heard.
Oh?
Ken
Well, then
told
you've
me.
heard very wrong.
Ken told me you attacked our mom, and then attacked our uncle,
We?
and then attacked all of our friends."
Our mother... Well, my mother, your mother was obviously different. I say very calmly and just matter-of-factly.
You can see his
But
eyes narrow slightly at that, but go ahead.
But that's no matter. I wish no Snowbeard any harm. I haven't attacked a Snowbeard that hasn't struck at me first. The
Mm,
closest that's happened was an incident with Alfred Stone that left him unavailable for a while.
you meant
But it
Uncle
wasn't
Alfred?
my doing. A couple times.
He's so cool. As you see the change in the kid, almost immediately go more to a childish.
I
demeanor.
have my in as I smile. Yes, yes. I heard he ended up on the Dark Continent for a while.
Really? Can you
Yes.
tell? Where else did you learn about him?
Oh, he slaughtered a bunch of warriors in a bar the day that I last saw him before he went.
As you start kind of telling him a few tales about your experiences with him, and the kid seems so fully enthralled by the story. Is there
I'm going
anything
to
you're
take
trying
the
to do?
chance.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly try to move over towards Jamelin,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to figure out if I can break this charm spell at the same time.
Okay.
The charm that's on her.
All right. How are you going to try and do so?
I'm going to. Charm is a compulsion effect, correct?
Let me double check. Let me pull up my thing.
I'm pretty sure anything that makes you do things or not do things is compulsion.
Yeah, no, you are correct on that part, but let me just check if charm outright is the case. Yes. It's mind affecting. It's enchantment, charm, mind affecting is not compulsion.
Ah, fuck. Well, that won't work. Well, and dispelling magic is gonna be too obvious right now because I'd have to tink with hammer. Let's try and get the little dude on my side.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check as you're kind of telling him these stories.
I'll slip in stories about my own travels, how things have went.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you got.
As I pop friendly face silently from the tattoo.
The kid, as you do
And
pop it, does seem to notice. As you notice, his eyes seem to go towards the tattoo, even though your tattoo is fully covered. And there, as you notice, there's no light or anything glimmering, but he does seem to sense the magic, as it looks like his eyes notice it.
that's fine. It's non-harmful.
Oh, that's fair. Let's see what you got.
Gives me an extra 5. Make sure I can't do anything else to boost me before I
All of the
jump
magic
into the
in
fire
world.
Sylvie.
Yep.
Nope. Plus 14.
Jesus.
Oh!
As you kind of continue to tell him about your stories, he seems fully enthralled in the tale, asking questions upon questions, as he's very interested in everything. It's about 10 or so minutes goes by of you talking about this. We're going to jump away from you for a minute while this is kind of going on. Syndra, as we pop back over to you in the hallway, as you hear kind of the whisper or the sounds, light sounds of James kind of talking through the wall. As you get further away, it seems to dampen and almost completely vanish. As you follow this advisor somewhat down the hallway, he seems to go into what looks to be a large open room that seems to be almost like a master's bedroom of sorts. Some chests that seem to be filled with cloth and some gemstones kind of sticking out. An armoire with a beautiful mirror on the side of the cabinet itself. Some golden furniture and some gemstones, as well as some beautiful magical items and some artwork hanging up on the walls. As you see the advisor kind of walk over and sit at a desk, noticing there's no doors on his room. It just seems to be an open kind of area. As he goes to sit down and starts writing something, yet to even notice your presence, seemingly.
Oh, don't worry, Cinder doesn't care. Now, I'm not one to mince words, as if we've been talking this entire time. Just want to know which person you are that I hate. Can I get a real introduction, or do you want to play guessing games?
You kind of walk into the room, standing about 10 or so feet behind him as he sits at the desk. A kind of what looks to be a mirror, kind of slightly glimmering on his desk, as you have a perfect sight on his face. And you see the smile suddenly kind of get wider as his yellow kind of rotten teeth kind of show fully. And he goes, "Sorry, I'm not familiar with what do you mean? You mean what my name is as the advisor to your young lord? My name is Kien Tutu."
Uh-huh. Cute. So what kind of disguise is it? Illusion? Shape-changing? Or do you have a pact? Are you like me, or are you one of them? Hmm. Buffoni? No. Maybe. Be odd, though. Not a Morin. You would have killed me by now.
Kind of chuckles at that.
Zonde? Out of character, though. Why would you be here?
I'm afraid I have no understanding of these names. I've heard reports of a Jakix Morin and a Kaijin Morin on the most wanted criminal list, but beyond that, I'm not familiar with what a Zonde is, or beyond even what a Buffoni is. I'm sorry, well, I've traveled a lot with my family when I was younger. I spent most of my time at the court.
If you don't know what they are, you're a shitty advisor.
Say what you will, but I'm not the one who serves a merchant and a ice demon lord, an alignment lord at that.
You're fucked in life, you make do.
We all must. But, as one powerful advisor to another, if I may make a recommendation, as you see him kind of put his quill away into the ink and just kind of stay sitting there, but now looks you in the eyes in the mirror, and still keeping a smile as he does. He goes, "I would recommend you and your compatriot choose another stronghold to make yours. Drag is mine, this castle is mine. And while I know you might be a threat to me, I will not hesitate to stop everything falling apart that I have built. Keep it diplomatic, and we will get along well. But I'd recommend you leave." Go ahead.
Problem is, if we don't do anything, he won't be either of ours.
How do you mean?
I don't really care what you're doing here. Gonna be honest, I could care less what happens in the Snowbeard lands. They fucked me, why should I care?
Exactly.
But little nephew cares. I can't have him dead yet, and he's gonna, well, he's not the type to back down, at least not forever. I only want two things. One, to know, well, three, but one's minor. Minor, know what your affiliation is. I don't like dancing around the topic. I can feel it. You're one of those three. Or you're some other she hates for some reason. Two, what you want here to see if it'll actually get in the way, because if it doesn't, I'll happily walk out of here and not come back. And three, a way to keep those disgusting creatures out of our land. Because I might not care about it, but I hate them even more.
And nods, and you hear a deep sigh as he kind of closes his eyes, and the shoulders kind of slightly slump, and goes, reopens his eyes and looks at you again, and goes, "How about I offer you a deal instead? I can tell you, and even provide the paper trail of who sold you out, why they sold you out, where they are, what they did it for, all the information you sought all this time. Give this to you in exchange that you skip who I am, what I am. That is not to you, as I'm not a problem for you nor for her until much later on, but that will be long after your natural lifetime, even with your gifts." As far
Kind of
as keeping...
raise an eyebrow. I don't have a natural lifetime.
That should concern you. He kind of looks at you and goes, as for keeping them out, as you hear a little dog, looks to be almost a hellhound under his bed, kind of comes out growling slightly and looks at you and then goes back under the bed. He kind of looks at you though and continues as he goes, as far as keeping them out, we are aligned in that interest. I seek no other competitors for my own interests, and my own interest is to ensure my continued comfortable living, as he kind of gestures to the room, still not turning to face you as he continues to talk into the mirror as he looks at you through it. As he continues and goes, so I will assist you in that. How, I cannot tell you, for what means I plan would cause us issues, I imagine, but I can guarantee none will be hurt that you care about or that you would know about, and that's all that matters. Beyond that, I think that would be a fair trade, information and a partnership for showing a less interest in my day-to-days and my personal interest in being.
Mm-hmm.
If you think yourself strong enough to take me, then think about this. Your patron, we'll call her, knows of me, and I know of her. Do you really wish to get pulled into all the events that would be a figure of such age or capability? Either I could be a knowledgeable ancient mage that knows more than I should, far more dangerous for you to take on one-on-one, as a caster yourself of natural possessions. Or I'm a demon of great power, as you seem to suspect, based on your motives. I assume that you're looking to me as similar in that idea, and if I am, then I'm even more of a danger and threat to you, because this small space would not stop me from casting magic that could wipe out this continent. So why not instead we stay friends? Not partners, not allies, but an interested associates, as we want the same thing.
You understand I expect a pact. I can't trust your word.
You trusted it before, or rather James did.
Yeah. He trusts a lot of people. That's why I'm here.
And as I promised him in that cave, with that Langlebig, I will not harm him, and nor do I have an interest in harming him. I am merely trying to complete my plans.
Just stare him down.
As
Oddly
Cinder calls.
pride. You're oddly accommodating for how prideful I thought you would be.
It is with my great power that I can accept and petty those who are much weaker than me, so that I don't have to lift a finger. It is by my allowing you to live that I show my power and my pride. As you see an eerie grin kind of on his face, as his orange eyes kind of begin to glimmer with a slight arcane energy.
Kind of sigh, and I look up for a second. I'm like, normally I'd take the deal, but my blessing has certain requirements, even if I don't want to.
So the game is on.
Yes, but I don't have to do it now. I don't have to do it in the coming months. I don't have to do it in the coming years. But like you said, eventually.
And you see
kind of do like a what can you do pose, like a little shrug.
You hear a light chuckle from him as he kind of looks away, and he seems genuinely happy as you, even without a sense motive, he seems to be laughing from the gut as he kind of erupts from it. And it kind of calms down for a moment. His eyes kind of stop glimmering, going back to their more palish orange coloration. And he kind of looks in the mirror and goes, "Truly, Sindra, you have made the first move on the grand chessboard to represent yourself. I look forward to seeing what you can achieve with your minimal power."
Yes. As long as you keep your word, I'll convince James to leave after the banquet, provided you don't cause any problems, because if he gets incited, I can't really stop him. Not without attacking him, which would break what I want. I can convince him to leave, at least for the time being.
That is
Now,
all that I seek.
the paper trail you promised?
Yes, delivered at dinner, bound, and the original copies, so that you do not fear that I have cheated you. As you can understand, there is quite a lot, and I want to make sure it is all brought to you in one piece, rather than giving you what little I have on my person.
Acceptable. I'll convince James to leave. Of course, you understand I have to give him some information. If I told him it was nothing, he wouldn't trust me.
Tell him that I am of the clan of Tutu. He will know what that means, and that will be enough to spark fear into him to cause him to want to leave quicker than stick around.
I'll nod, but knowing his memory, severely doubt he'll know what that means. But I'll nod, and I'll be like,
The
"Okay."
player doesn't remember, and I'm going through what
Don't
I
worry,
know.
you're not.
Fuck.
It wasn't a reference to anything.
And I'll just say, "Okay, then I'm done here. Have a wonderful night."
He smiles and gives a light chuckle and goes, "You too. I hope you enjoy tonight's dinner."
I'll
As you start to walk.
go to leave, even though I don't eat and can't eat. It's
kind of
not going to
awkward
be
thought.
enjoyable. Yeah, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's going to be kind of boring, in my opinion.
And as you begin to walk away, you do hear an eerie voice, though, and something does speak out loud as you hear. And this is, I will go slow for this, don't worry. When we die and follow the hounds into the hollows, and the great spirit into the glen, where mead flows and delivers a river of happiness to all who drink of it, know that I wish you well in your game of chess.
Oh, he's already making deals. Okay. All right, I got it.
Cool. And as you hear this and begin to kind of pausing for a moment, as you hear this eerily kind of in your head only, heading down the hallway back to where the door was. As you go to open the door, you hear as James is in the middle of a tale about where Miyamoto was splashed against the wall as Alfred Stone just laid him out, fully embellishing the story like James fully saw it personally, as he tells us the kid fully
I would
enthralled
also
in the
stone in the
story.
tale of Rollman slaughtering a Hydra with a single slash.
As you walk in, though, seeing this, James, you look up, seeing Cinder kind of walk in, completely unbothered, seemingly, as she looks fully fine. Drag kind of looks up, noticing her, and goes, "Oh," and kind of looks up at the back of the room as you turn and see on the wall what looks to be a simple and very old-looking clock that looks to be a very kind of almost mix of a sundial with very simplistic gears that seem to make it move slightly. As you kind of watch this contraption, not familiar enough with how it works, you see Drag seems to be looking, counting something as he kind of speaks up and goes, "Oh, you guys have to go. We have to get ready for the banquet. I can't keep you much longer. Otherwise, my advisor will be
That
upset."
won't take me long at all. As I tap my ring, and I'm now in my merchant's attire.
No. We have to prepare. You need to get going. Trust me. It'll be fine. I'll get the family together, enjoy the town, spend some time around here. It'll be great, and we can talk more about all of your adventures when you get back. As he gives a glimmer smile.
And Drag, you don't seem like a bad chap. If I have to choose someone to keep an eye on this place for me, it might just be you.
Yeah.
I'll pat his head.
Looks at you. You see it narrowing his eyes.
I give him the mischievous older brother smile, just like I'm teasing him.
Oh.
You see, still he's
Oh,
glaring
don't
at
worry.
you. Go ahead.
Don't worry, nephew. It's just the games of the adults. Nothing should change.
You see this
This
drag
is
kind of looks back
Cinder
and
or
forth.
Syndra now.
No idea who that is. Oh,
That's the uncle that they thought I attacked.
I got a
Uncle
little
Grom?
cursed. Uncle Grom. Yes,
Grom.
I used to be known as Grom. Not anymore.
And looks at you and goes, "Oh, Aunt Grom."
Aunt
If you
Syndra is
want,
what she goes by.
if you want, I won't stop you.
He nods at that, kind of smiles as he kind of sits back up on the throne and gives a slight bow and goes, "All right, James, you are released to go about your duties. Thank you for spending time with me."
Anytime, little brother. I hope the rest of our siblings are a bit more talkative. As I look at Jamelin and give a polite bow.
She kind of seems to stand up and give a slight curtsy and sits back down. As you turn and start walking off with the three of you, heading out the door as the throne room closes behind you, kind of heading into the main hall and down towards the exit. You can see Roman slightly grimacing a little bit as he can see the the chair that he had put in front of the door is slightly bent. Um, as he kind of looks at it, and as you guys get closer,
damn,
you see he
that
puts...
one was one that.
Good.
Oh Jesus, that one was a metal one that was forged. Oh, buddy, you might have to run.
You see as Roman kind of puts his ear up to the door, listening in as you two kind of stand there for a second.
I'll handle it. I'll handle it.
As Roman kind of backs up for a second, and Syndra goes to move the chair and open the door. As the door opens, Syndra, and as you look through, there's no one there.
Good.
And you kind of start to fully open it around. You see Roman fully relaxes and kind of goes back to being a little bit more calm as the three of you head out. The two larger, about 6 foot tall, and green scaled guards seem to look over at you as you walk out, and as the castle doors close behind you, they seem to both give you a slight nod as you head into the city itself.
I will whisper to Syndra, "How fucked?"
Not very, to be honest. We've met him before.
All right.
Well, you've met him before. I'm afraid I wasn't with you yet. Something about a cave, a Langle Big, you letting him walk out.
I don't believe I was there with that one.
You were. That was in
absolutely
Greg's Marathon's territory. That's when
It was you and Alar.
That's when he had the elven sorceress chick with him, and you let him walk out after him talking his way through, and your party gave you so much shit for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even though he was cornered. Yep.
James would clock, he's been called Pride by...
Oh, we have that one then. Which means
But-
that this is a whole big fucking problem.
He stated he's not going to cause problems until the end of my naturalized zone, which will be far after your dust in the wind.
Yes, but that also means he has plans for my siblings and everything, and I'd rather not have them puppeted.
No. He would supposedly give you no reason to come back, which causing problems would. We have time.
So you believe it's best to move on from here and just go straight to Treasure-Horn next and deal with that?
For the time being, I believe so.
As you kind of whisper this, now coming down the hill and passing by the large inn and seeing a line outside the inn itself, that's kind of seems to, as you hear the door opening and closing continuously, dwarven drunken music playing heavily as you pass by. You hear, you kind of catch a moment as you stop, as you hear James, someone shouting your name as someone seems to be coming running from behind you.
I'll stop and turn, preparing to dodge because I'm now constantly fucking jumpy.
I get in the way. It's my job.
Rollerman kind of seems to step forward as well, hand on his blade. But as his eyes lock, and as all three of you kind of see this, he seems to relax as you see what looks to be a young kid in a courier's outfit running up to you with a letter, and what looks to be a wax seal on it.
Well, we know how this... I'll hold my hand up for the letter.
I'll gesture for it to be handed to Syndra.
The young Snowbeard kind of hands it to Syndra and smiles and goes, "Have a good day," as he starts jogging off with his bag.
Before he starts off, I fish out let me just make sure I get the right denomination here, because I do have a bag full of all these coins.
If you give him a gold coin, I swear to God.
I just pull out 2 emerald plains.
Okay. Coppers,
and hand them to him.
As you kind of he smiles up at you, pockets it immediately, and starts jogging off with a little bit more glee in his step as he runs into the city. As Cinder kind of looks
Yeah, no,
down.
I don't give the gold to the children. I give those to the adults. Teenagers get silver.
As Syndra kind of looks down, Syndra, you see on the mark, it looks to be the seal of House Frostbuster.
Alright, I'm gonna walk to the other side of the street without James. Just gonna open it over here.
Roman kind of walks James over to one of the merchant stalls for a second, and like just in between it and the tavern, so that the two of you can kind of like stand there and not look suspicious as you watch Syndra from the other side of the street.
Alright, now if this explodes, it's only my problem.
As you crack the seal, Syndra, I assume, or are you checking it first?
I mean, I have no reason not to check it.
Alright, give me...
Don't need some bomb going off in the middle of the city. I still want the resources from this place.
Funny, though.
Let's see, where was my thing for the trap sense?
Okay, so we know it's trapped.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's I'm giving him a chance to tell if it's trapped is what I'm looking for my notes here.
I know, but he said, where did I put the notes for that trap sense? And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
so it is. It's fucked. What's the joke there?
It's been a minute. Alright, so I'll tell you what. Give me a knowledge arcana to see if you sense any magic or notice any magic on it first. Because I assume that's going to be the first effect, is to make sure there's no spell effects on this thing.
Well, yeah. It's hard to put any non-magical trap other than, like, poison, which I don't care about because I'm immune on something like this.
If it is a poison thing, you got to open it first, so you can check it for magic before you open it, which is the nice thing.
24.
Okay. Thankfully, there is no magic on this thing, other than what looks to be a previous heat metal spell. As you recognize, it seems to have been used on whatever created the wax seal. As you kind of get a faint sense of magic off of it. Hey, listen, details matter. And let me see. Nope, that's not the skill check I wanted. Give me a second. I'm just going through my list here. I assume, because you're not a rogue. You don't have rogue levels, right?
I do not have rogue levels.
Cool. Then just give me a survival check. We'll call that for the trap sense.
I'm really good at survival. I forgot I had ranks in survival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
28.
28. As you kind of like give a light feeling of it, kind of move it about in your hands, kind of push on a little bit just to feel if there's any grains or anything in there, kind of give you a light smell. Nothing's odd about it. It seems to be, as you can kind of get a sense of it, seems all legit as you kind of look at it over. No traps.
Let's send it then. Let's see.
As you crack it open and look at it, it does read in Dwarvish, which I know I have to ask this, but given your proclivities with Syndra, do you actually read or do you speak Dwarvish?
I do speak Dwarvish. You get it. You don't get to choose Dwarvish if you're a dwarf.
That's right. That's right. I couldn't remember if 3.5 default gave you those languages or not.
Yeah, they forced you
to
language.
As you look it over, reading it, it does read, Dear James, I hope you understand that this letter is not intended to cause you any harm or concern. My hope is only that you'll understand my intentions. At dinner tonight during the banquet, to show there are no hard feelings, I will be including in part of the paperwork information not only for your uncle, but I will also be providing information for you on relation to what happened to your family and the relation to the Venkos, as I imagine this will keep your interest for quite a while and will assist your young cousin, or your young little brother, Drag Leather... Give me a minute. Leathermail. As you see at the bottom, it is signed, Advisor Kien Tutu. Or as you read it, seeing how it's spelled, in Dwarvish reads, one who is filled with hubris.
Yeah, that checks out. That's about right.
Cinder just kind of sighs at the sadness to the name wordplay and just kind of like closes the letter back up.
I'll walk back over to James.
Roldman kind of standing there, as you notice, has what looks to be a little bit of biscuit of sorts from the merchant vendor next to it.
I told you they were good.
James is also chewing on one with some sort of like liquid on it that seems to be like a syrup-like material.
Yeah, I like pocket the letter and I'm like, letter was normal. From the advisor.
I'm guessing the okay, we'll talk about it then.
It wasn't anything like secret. He's offering you some information you'd be interested in at the banquet tonight. I was told to tell you his name. He said you would understand that he was a member of Clan Tutu.
What bell does that ring?
James, give me a knowledge nobility or knowledge history. I'll take either.
Nat 1 for comedy. Nat 1 for comedy.
Dude, remember seeing that in a book somewhere. It was a cartoon at some point.
I don't have
Tutu's-
knowledge nobility.
Really?
Tutu's a thing you do when you're thing.
No.
Sorry, knowledge merchant
That's
is what I meant,
knowledge
not
history.
knowledge nobility.
Oh.
Or mercantile, my apologies.
So profession mercantile would be what I have.
Knowledge? You have a knowledge, don't you, that's merchant?
Nope.
Oh.
That's why I use knowledge history so much.
Then yeah, no.
My highest knowledge is knowledge religion.
Then yeah, I'll take the history or the profession mercantile. Either one will work.
I will do profession mercantile then.
Okay.
Because my mercantile is much higher, believe it or not.
No, fair. This will affect the answer, but no worries. Nice.
Never mind, it's
12.
the same between the two. Never mind.
As you hear the name Tutu, you do recognize it. They are a very well-known clan of Stormbeards who do merchant trading. They're not big like yourself, but they're respected in the fact that their hands are pretty much in every pie. Dealings that go off throughout this continent for generations have gone through this family, basically. The Snowbeards have never really done any sailing deals that did not involve this clan. Their whereabouts also are notably unknown, only that their members kind of appear when they are needed and then basically disappear back into nowhere. But they always seem to have the right credentials to prove their nobility.
So trustworthy clan is what he's taken on the name of. Okay. I can take it that means he's not gonna actively try to fuck us.
I will also note, you do, as you kind of start to think about it, as you think about the name Tutu itself, this individual does look, or the advisor does look like one of the members of the clan. However, the individual's name escapes you, as well as most of their information. You just remember that they were very noteworthy for some reason, and it kind of sticks at the top of your tongue.
Take a note to check all the records I have back on the ship.
There you go.
And maybe get the copies I have here in my old room.
Mm-hmm. As you see Cinder kind of now taking or getting handed one of the biscuits as the merchant kind of hands one over, smiling at Cinder as he gives her a wink and goes back to handing them to children.
See, I'm telling you, out of character, all these dwarves have a demon fetish. I'm telling you, they don't want to.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Hugstari has one too. Don't worry, I'm
They
gonna send that
don't.
letter.
People are like, oh yeah, demons like, oh yeah, they're gonna fear you because you look like a demon. No, they all try to flirt with me.
Mm-hmm. However, as Cinder, as you kind of come to this comprehension, give me an intelligence check, actually.
I'm not very smart right now because I'm smoking.
I know, that's even better. Hey, same here, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, it could be worse. It's a 15. It's still a +2.
Fuck yes. Alright, let's see what you got.
No, it's a 15.
Oh,
I rolled a
15 total?
13.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
As you take a second, it suddenly clicks. To people who don't know what your situation is, your appearance makes you look like an attractive snowbeard woman.
Oh, that's hilarious.
James and Roman seem to have no clue, nor do they seem to care as they continue kind of just talking with you.
So, what? They see a pretty snowbeard with armor just smoking a pipe,
Oh
just
yeah,
walking
basically,
around.
like your druidic outfit, which is your like blue ice,
The blue ice armor.
Yeah, I got armor. Yeah, that's basically that, and then like your female snowbeard appearance. Like you look like just normal female snowbeard of Syndra. Like if Cinder was turned into a woman. So yeah, that's all these people are saying.
I'm gonna say to some guy at some point, so I'm a demon, and they're gonna see a different person suddenly.
Yep. But it also, as you
Wow.
start to realize why Drag didn't freak out when he was looking at you, and none of the guards freaked out when they saw you.
Yeah, but other people have, which makes me really concerned.
Which also means that some people either you're not 100% yet sure how this works, but that's how you kind of roughly guesstimate it, which means that those people either knew or they had a better inclination magically.
Because the level 1 sorcerer didn't know what I was, but saw me as a demon.
Yep.
But he was blessed. I mean, that could be.
By the Buffani.
As
Yeah.
James, you're kind of going over like the plan for the night and kind of like a general idea of what you're like what to be prepared with your siblings and what you know about them. You can kind of see Cinder's eye. She's like listening, but she looks also slightly spacey as something like seems to light bulb in her
Syndra?
head.
Syndra,
It's
you
What?
okay?
James snaps
I'm
in
fine.
front of Cinder's face a few times.
What?
You
I'm
live?
fine.
You zoned out there
Yeah.
for a minute.
I had a realization. I'll explain later.
All right. Well, if you're advising me to leave and you're giving me that much, generally, yeah, it'll be a problem for later, I guess.
Uh, you kind of say that, sighing. You hear a couple of merchants kind of chatting. Both of you give me a listen check, please, just to see if you hear anything that catches your attention. I know you've been waiting
this
for
is-
it.
I love these checks.
It's been so long.
I know, right? Let's see if you can get a nat 20. God damn it. Because I still can't believe first roll of the night. Oh, that does mean technically someone
18.
should die tonight. Alright, 18? So,
43.
43. James, as you're kind of listening in, kind of focusing more to like the mercantile endless, trying paying attention to the dwarven politics people are talking about as you guys are chatting. You do hear two merchants talking about something that kind of catches your ear. One of them seems to say, as you hear, "Do you hear about the mad sorceress they supposedly saw out in the forest?" And you hear the other merchant kind of go, "Yeah, they took half the guards that were loyal to the fucking the Frostbusters, and they just disappeared. No one knows what happened to them." The first guard kind of speaks, or first merchant kind of speaks up again and goes, "Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they disappeared, but like without a trace and in heavy armor, I mean, it makes no sense. Not even a footfall anywhere to be found in the forest." As the two kind of seem to be drinking, kind of quiet down to a whisper as they talk. You also hear another comment as what sounds like a family kind of walking by as you hear the father kind of speaking up to his what looks to be kind of younger but apprentice age son and goes, "I can't believe that young drag managed to bring back half those contracts to the family. The Frostbusters are going to see some royalties here if we keep this up. The advisor's actually not bad if this works out. We got us a better deal on our lumber and our stone. Couldn't ask for more." And as the boy kind of nods along as they kind of walk past. That's kind of all you get, James, as you hear all that. Syndra. Now, with such a high score, what are you listening for, out of curiosity? Because James really didn't get a choice. He got more based on his personality and what he's interested in right now. You, with a 43, I can't really tell you what you can't listen to, so...
Indra almost always listens to for a few specific things. It's almost always things related that might be related to things like the Morans, because you never know when they're around. Things really just weird stuff in general that could be magical.
Okay.
And someone trying to stab me in the ass.
Alright. As you kind of continue to listen, hearing throughout, one of the things that catches your attention is the hear of a word of a few merchants who pass by, and you don't catch the full conversation as they seem to be passing in a cart quite quickly, but something immediately does catch your touches the name, as two merchants passing by say something about, "Have you heard about the raids on the Bronzite, from the Bronzite clan? Those damn dragons keep attacking us in the south." And as they pass by, you start to kind of catching that and zoning in a little bit more on that kind of conversation. You hear a few more people and a few guards that are talking about that as they pass by. One going, "I can't believe that they're offering such a high price for wormlings and small young adult dragons of the damn bronze-scaled clan. I can't believe they have the brass to come through our territory and raid us. Pissed off a lot of merchants trying to head into the Jotunlands." As the guards kind of pass by. Another thing that catches your attention is you hear whispers from down the alley, and I'm going to give you a second to write that down.
I am already caught up.
Okay, cool. As you hear down the alley, two thieves that you kind of catch that aren't watching you lot, just kind of passing by, that seem to be kind of looking in the windows in the alley of the different buildings and businesses to see what's open. As you hear the both of them kind of talking, whispering, one goes, "Did you hear about those damn necromancers that have gotten into the city? And the other one kind of goes, "Yeah, I heard that they're working for some gal called the Eldest Daughter. I don't know what she is, but damn, she's supposedly mean. Some wizardess that just captures men and brings them to her ill. She's supposedly amassing an army." The other one kind of continues and goes, "Yeah, I thought about joining to see if I could find out what the deal is, but I mean, if she's one of them wizard types that charms you, I don't think I can get laid being charmed." As they kind of continue off, as you kind of stop listening at that point. As you kind of own in on the other conversation, the last thing that catches your attention is one mention of an old lady across the street. Funny enough, where you were standing a moment ago, it seems to be kind of... Oh, go ahead. What was that?
What?
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard you say something. Yeah, as you listen and you hear an old lady across the street that seems to say, or seems to be speaking to a younger gal that looks to be very well built, looks to be wearing guild attire, similar to an adventurer, but not very heavy or enchanted gear. As the old lady speaks up and goes, "I've heard that there's talk of these supposed hags coming back. There's talk of demons trying to rise them from the dead, supposedly, in the area. But I don't think the Adventurers Guild is going to do much in the territory. It's already hard enough to get the Ice Mages under the last spire to accept anything after they moved here. Who knows how that advisor got them to stick around here and give the clan Frostbuster so much power." And that is the last thing that kind of catches your ear that's of interest. You can catch a couple minor things, like, say, a 50% off sale down the street about some berries that, as you realize, are about 3 weeks old and closer to jam than they are berries anymore. But beyond that, that does catch your
I'm
attention.
insulted that there's some berries.
As
Right.
you see Cinder's kind of like listening as James, you two are kind of having a light conversation at this point, and then suddenly Cinder's eyes just lock in down the street at a fruit stand that she's glaring at as a merchant's like setting out fruit and like whistling happily.
How old does the fruit look to me?
Give me an appraise check.
You know, I'm a general. I sell weapons and arms mainly, but I've sold a little bit of everything.
General goods are like a DC 15. Don't worry, it's not. It's a set DC. It's not hard.
Well, this gives Cindy a good berry wine.
There you go.
Shelve that for later.
Yeah,
7.
no.
Yeah, I mean, from here, it's hard to tell. It looks like the dude's just setting out fruits. I mean, it's not. I mean, you're not. Maybe you kind of take a second and it looks over, looking over at Syndra. Maybe that guy like screwed Syndra like in a food like billing at some point. I mean, it could be 1,000 things. Who knows? Maybe the guy whispered something that said Syndra was ugly, and that's what caused her to give a dirty look. I mean, you've seen how good her ears are, so you're unsure, James.
Yeah, not gonna question it. Well then, Sindra, your opinion on something.
Hmm?
With the old guard now retired, and it seems like he's not going to care. Perhaps I should try to recruit them to take care of my keep.
It's not a bad idea. They have no reason not to be loyal as long as you pay decently. Not a lot, but decently.
Roman nods to that.
I know. No more giving out gold coins. I already have been working on it, as you saw.
Yeah, I see no reason to.
Alright. Well, then I'll work on that while we work our way towards time for dinner.
It does sound like, as a nation, we might have bigger things to deal with than clan by clan.
As you and Syndra
Yeah,
kind
I
of start
heard
walking.
there was
Go ahead.
As I'll share the rumor that I heard with Syndra.
Yeah, feel free.
I heard that half of the old guard is gone, just vanished. Middle of the woods. Not even an armor track left.
Oh, there's more than the woman stealing people. Supposedly she's called the eldest daughter and she's building an army.
That does not sound good.
Then we have the dragons in the south attacking the dwarves.
I knew that would happen.
They're cutting off trade to the giants, the Jotun, as you will. Apparently hags are back nearby. Apparently necromancers are in town. Is that happening? They just keep walking.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah, you guys are like
Complete
walking through the
button
town. A couple carts
Yeah.
pass by. Some horses kind of neigh at you on occasion as they like go around you. But otherwise, yeah, like most of this town is pretty bustling. Like there are merchants and couriers moving about. Like people are not paying attention to you lot at all. Also, you do see a few adventurers here and there, so it seems like you're kind of in good company as far as the city being used to people in
You
foreign attire.
you want goodwill, James, as you mentioned. Rally the people and deal with the dragons. Apparently, they're only young and younger.
I mean, arming them up wouldn't be hard at this point.
No, I would go, to be honest. If you can even
Might be an
beat
option.
one, you can beat even one dragon. Well, we. But we'd put it in your name. That alone.
As I look to roll him in,
that,
who could
that al-
probably take out an entire small nest of wormlings by himself.
that alone would bring you prestige, even if you just beat a couple wormlings. That you were willing to go fight dragons is going to say a lot about.
That's an option. I also think that I've settled on who we should back for the kingship, given everything that I've been able to look into in the past bit.
Yes.
I'm thinking on it. Ronsbeard.
The Cavalier. Yes.
Given what happened with that, I might ask you to go handle speaking with him, because it seems that your two views align.
I was approving when I met him. He didn't want anything bad. You understand you'll have to find a new guard first. I'm not going to leave you with, well, I trust Roloman. Only a single guard is, no matter how skilled.
I understand that fully, and then, should everything go well, having you stay back here to watch the homelands, and get to play villainess a bit, might be interesting to watch.
You
Plus,
know,
you'll be able to raise up your grove.
Yes, that's a good one. You know my rules, James. I go where things benefit me. If there's enough benefit,
I'll explain more. Well, I'll explain more of it later, but I'll share my thought process with you. Then you can decide if
Very
it's
well.
worth it or not.
We have a little while until the banquet. Sure.
You like, kind of find yourself at the somewhat edge of town now, passing through, seeing the castle walls themselves as you look up. As you kind of stand there, Roman just kind of looks at you a lot and kind of looks back over the castle gates to see, and looks back at you a lot, looking to see if you are heading toward or out of the town, or if you're planning to stay in the town longer.
It's up to James. We don't really have to go back to the ship. We don't really have to.
That's true.
No. Danger to me in this city is fairly low because the common folk know me here and tend to like me.
And outside's apparently really high. There's a crazy female mage out there.
Cinder just kind of eyes it warily for a moment.
Look,
having heard about that, I look to the gate, I look to Roland, I go to find a quiet place to stand in town.
Look, she is interested in the mage, though, because that's my domain, but, I also don't recommend it, so, it's kind of a catch-22.
No, that's fair. Yeah, as you guys head back into town, head back up the main street, looking for the inn that Jurgen mentioned, it takes you another, good 30 minutes of walking basically all the way back to where you just came from, as you find the the building you were standing next to that had the merchant with the biscuits that he was kind of handing it with the syrup like liquid. Although the merchant's moved on, the building beside where you had heard all the merchants kind of discussing is, as you see, a large inn, about a 4-story sized inn. It is wide, it is tall, and it is glamorous. As you see, the roof scaling each individual shingle seems to be hand carved as you look up, easily recognizing the stonework. The building itself looks to be a mix of wood and stone that seems to glimmer as much of it's been carved piece by piece. The windows themselves seem to be made of gemstones. This is probably the second wealthiest inn you've stayed in, James, as only comparative to Teluasi's own inn back in...
I need to make sure I invest properly.
Right.
Now, fanciest, but most expensive was still that Tothan, because that was a scam.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I got ripped off there, and I...
Freaking 10 gold for a glass of water that wasn't even purified.
Yeah,
Freaking
as you walk in, seeing the sign, it reads Dragon's Lodge. As you kind of open the door and hear the drunken dwarven music, it is loud. It smells of smoke and heavily of a mix of Dream Lily and tobacco and booze. And it reminds you of home.
Can I roll for? So I seen Dragon.
Yes.
Can
Yeah, you've seen Dragon. Yeah.
What would I roll for dwarven names and see if that's a dwarven name or if he's probably related to Drekken? Because that's a very similar name.
I will say Drekken spells his name with Drekkin. Dragon is Dregon. But yeah, feel free. Give me a knowledge history or a locale.
May as well. Maybe they're not a dwarf. You never know.
I mean, it's weird that Jurgen owns a place called Dragon's Lodge. I mean, that alone.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be talking to him about that.
So,
Very true. It's kind of strange. Let's see. I rolled a 12. I have a +2, and then from that item, 21.
and that is a knowledge history or local.
It's history.
As you think about it, Drekken is traditionally a beast folk name for long thought or long thinking. It basically is to incite intelligent people or mark them. Dragon in Dwarvish, being Dregon, means tall scale. And as you start to recall, you remember a story about supposedly a Snowbeard, a bastard of the clan Frostbuster, but or potentially, as many have stated, just a broken clan that was unnamed, managed to kill a very powerful black dragon that was a worm at the time in the area, and once he had taken basically the parts of the dragon, sold it in exchange for opening this inn. The inn being his legacy. However, as you also recall, his family lost it within a single generation after he died to basically the Frostbuster clan, and is now publicly owned.
It's a boast on the history of the inn.
Basically,
Sure.
yeah, because as you look inside, you see a huge dragon skull that is like the size of a Jotun. Like as it peers over what looks to be a massive kind of reception. The inside of this place is humongous. As you can kind of walk down one side of it, you can see the entirety of this dude's supposed history, as well as the history of the lodge itself, and all of its collective members, as you recognize that this is a member inn. However, it's open to the public. It's just, as you recognize, members get better treatment. And as you can kind of see on one side there, adventures, glimpses of art that show like them taking down monsters or making great deals. While over to the right looks to be a very large open restaurant and bar where many of dwarves are singing, dancing, laughing, as a large band seems to be playing a drunken tune that, well, you'd expect it to be almost immensely loud to the ears with how violently it looks like they're playing it. It seems to be almost dampened over here as you've yet to step into the full tavern.
I only count 7 snowbeards on tables this time. Huh. Less than last.
As you see an old man basically taking off his shirt and beginning to like swirl it around his head and dancing as he points to a female snowbeard who blushes at it and seems to throw a drink at him.
It's been too long.
As you say this, you see... Oh, go ahead, Syndra.
If any man so much as winks at me, there will be hellfire. This will be war.
Syndra whispers this into James's ear.
Syndra, I understand you're attracted by Snowbeard standards. Don't worry, they're all too drunk to pay attention.
You do see, they're not flirting with each other. It seems to be just drunken camaraderie. It's actually, as you watch, a good time as the people are having a fun time with it overall. However, as you do watch a woman punch some man, the two seem to get into a full-on brawl on the dance floor. No one breaks up as they just beat the crap out of each other.
I'm hearing bets, I'm guessing already.
Yeah. As you watch this kind of go on, you see as behind the bar, someone kind of starts to push through the crowd, or push past and then push through the crowd towards you as you watch as old man Jurgen. An old man. He's still younger than Syndra by quite a lot, but much older than James as he kind of walks over and smiles at James once again and goes, "James, my boy. Yeah, I haven't seen you in what feels like 6 months."
Well, it's been more like 3 years, but...
It's been more like a few moments since you only saw me like 2, 3 hours ago.
Yeah. What to
Yeah,
say?
but in truth, I'm not going to count that brief meeting
He
for my own
smiles at
sanity's
that.
sake at this point.
Well, I feel that. How about I pour you a drink and we find you three a stall to sit in and we can catch on up? As he kind of
That
whistles
would
back
be
to the bar.
wonderful.
And you say that he kind of smiles and turns, and as you kind of leads you over to the corner where the little museum is, a small booth kind of set up. As you kind of sit into it, you immediately feel the spell kind of enclose around you as all three of you sit into what is basically a soundproofing bubble. As all the sound from the outside tavern, for the most part, seems to be dampened immensely. And as he kind of sits down next to Roloman and Sindra kind of next to you, James, you see as a waitress kind of walks over, smiles at the four of you, and kind of sets down some menus. Where there is a menu, because for some reason I prepped this well in advance, which I didn't know I did this. So as you look, you see that on the menu there's only 3 items, unfortunately. The veggie cake with barley biscuits and a glass of whiskey for 5 silver pieces. A lamb burger with potatoes and a tankard of cider for 5 silver pieces, or veggies steamed bun with a sharp cheese and a coffee for 5 silver pieces.
James will point to his old standby, the lamb burger.
I was gonna say, I'll get a burger out of. I don't want the first thing, and Sindra, probably being a very cold person, doesn't like hot drinks.
That's fair. As you both point to that, the waitress kind of smiles, and you see as Jurgen kind of hands her back and just says, 4 whiskeys for me. And as Roman just taps one of each and pushes his coin
I
forward.
pull out fucking, 3 gold. I'll cover this.
Fair. She kind of tip and push it forward. You see and immediately get the intention as she nods and smiles at that. She just caught on that you want to make sure drinks are kept pouring and food is kept coming, and she kind of takes the money and takes the order and walks away.
Yeah.
It doesn't take more than 3 minutes before your food's already there and fully cooked. As you see, she is quick to bring it back almost immediately and starts setting down drinks. As Jurgen kind of smiles at that and goes, "That's how you get service, James. Who knew you had grown so wealthy?"
Well, it's been very lucrative, but I'm more worried about what's been going on here. Enough rumors hit the world, and at least I'll come back. Although I do have to go tell the treasure horns that Eider is very, very clear he has no interest in returning.
Oh, they won't care. Go ahead.
Would a 29 sleight of hand go unnoticed to, from the pipe, use purify food and drink on James's food? Reaction.
Immune to poison.
Yeah, give me a
It
slow.
can be potions too, Cameron.
Give me a slight. I will mention, to Syndra's defense, although Syndra didn't know this as a player, there is actually a apothecary and an alchemist in town. So Syndra fully, and you guys would have passed it. So Syndra fully.
So there are full classes to make poison that ignore poison immunity.
True. But yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
I rolled a 29.
29. As you kind of lightly tap your pipe on the table, the entire table seems to glimmer for a very quick second. As Jurgen kind of seems to close his eyes and look up as he downs his first glass shot. And as he does, you watch as Roman kind of gives you a thumbs up. Your effect goes against all of your plates. It looks like.
Awesome.
Catches your attention, so do give me a knowledge arcana to see if you recognize why the table seems to enhance your magic slightly.
Sure, and I am no longer smoking because it has to be unlit to use that effect.
Okay. So you kind of put it out, kind of setting it down.
Could be worse. Let's see. It's a 7 plus 9. 16? It could be worse.
Okay. As you kind of take a second noticing that you look over at the edge of the table, and though the table seems to glimmer a slight bluish color, you assumed it to be just a normal crystal or gemstone that was lit up. As you look over and recognize that is death ore, blue lyrium itself, just glimmering with a slight blue amber on it that seems to have enhanced your magic slightly.
Huh.
This is also the first time you've ever seen death ore used anywhere other than Mana's Grove, which it just kind of grows into the structures of the city.
Which I've never been to Mana's Grove.
Correct. Yeah, sorry. Forgot that James has.
This is like a first for me. I'm like, wow, it's interesting.
Jurgen kind of
Were
looks
these tables
over.
here when James left?
Yes,
Or is that
James.
new?
No, these
Okay,
are
thank
this is the
goodness.
same design. Yeah. As Jurgen kind of puts down his shot and smiles at you and goes, "Oh God, that's the stuff." So yeah, what do you want? You want to pick my brain about the rumors? What do you want to know?
Well, one, I'm sorry that half the old guard's gone. Mysteriously.
Tell me about it. My young boy is part of them. You know, the one you were standing next to half the time and trying to fight with a sword. The one that also kind of gave you a couple too many wallops, unfortunately. I do apologize. He's a better boy now.
Straighten me out a bit. As I smile, I switch to using a hammer.
Yeah, you straightened him out too when you dropped 4 books on his head unsuspectedly from a 4th story of the castle. Hell yeah, he never got over that. He still got a stunted neck from it.
Well, knowledge is heavy and I was forced to study. I figured he could use some heavy reading.
He kind of gives a light chuckle at that and goes, boy never was real good with the words, was he? Ugh.
No.
They told me
you
to
were pretty
raise him as
close.
your... Oh, good.
Yeah. No, continue, sir.
He kind of smiles and goes, "They told me to raise him as if he was your brother, and God, they couldn't have picked a pair that was more unalike."
No, but hearing he's not around, it's a bit sad. I would have had a great job for him.
He kind of takes a second and takes the second shot as he pulls it back and looks at you and goes, "Yeah, he's been gone for a few months now. About the same time your family started vanishing and the members of the city started disappearing.
Other people are disappearing?
And for a while, some said slavers, others said merchants. I never saw anything personally. Even the thieves didn't know what was going on. Some thieves even vanished themselves. A few months, maybe a year ago, this was going on. Then it stopped. Don't know what happened after. I mean, the Civil War probably is what caused most of the issues, but
Well, I can give you at least some closure. Benkos. They were selling off members of of this clan.
he kind of nods.
Of multiple clans.
He nods and goes, "Really?"
Aye. And
Yeah, trust me, it was happening.
and Stronghelm was also hunting us for sport. More.
Yeah, looks at you and goes, "You know, it's never been my position to talk politics, but I've always said, if you're gonna rule a nation, and you're gonna keep it as exclusive to the elites of a specific species, why elevate someone who's a half member, such as Odger? There ain't no way you get that big and be a pure snowbeard. I told them from the beginning he was gonna be a problem when they rose him up."
Well, he's no longer around.
Yeah, you killed him? As he takes
By all
another
sources,
shot.
yes.
As he kind of has the shot in his mouth, you hear him start coughing and sputtering as he gets it down and kind of like hits his chest a few times and looks at you with wide eyes and goes, "Well, young James, you've come quite far. Clearly, Jesus, you killed that monster?"
Well, it wasn't alone. I had, as I gestured, Rollman and Syndra, a lot of good help.
Rollman, who's like face deep into the fucking burger and just like chowing down, having a good time there. Full Goku, basically. And as he looks over at Syndra, he kind of looks at Rollman and kind of looks back at you and goes, "Huh. Interesting.
Which
Okay.
brings me to what I was hoping to talk to at least some of the old guard about.
You know,
I have a keep.
Alright. Congratulations.
One that I'd like to have people I can trust keep an eye on.
Okay. What does that have to do with me or any of the old guard?
Most seasoned warriors I know sitting around doing nothing.
Oh, we're
Sounds
not
pretty
doing
boring.
nothing. They're drinking. As he kind of like holds his hand out to the bar as you see a bunch of familiar faces all completely sloshed.
I'll make him fresh booze over there.
Yeah?
They can drink there too.
He nods at that and goes, "I mean, can't promise they'll go. Yeah, to be fair, most of the men stick around here because I'm here, unfortunately, and I own the business right now, so it's done well for my family.
That's fair. But if you see if any of them want to, then be appreciative. Along with, do you know anybody by the name? Do you remember anybody working with my father by the name of Glimmerrock or Glimmerstone
A new glitter
or
rock.
something akin to that? That one.
Yeah. A bit before my time. I was probably your age when I first met you. When the guy showed up. Older lad, not much older than you were when you first met my son. So, uh, 10, 12. Maybe older. Maybe older than 16. It's hard to remember. It was a while back, but yeah, young soldier saved your father on the battlefield twice. I actually took a hit from one of Grom's as he kind of like you see him kind of suddenly remember Grom kind of coming to his mind. I think he took a hit from Grom's father at some point. Fucking full on blast and lived. Strong little shit. He owed a blood debt to your father owed him a blood debt, I believe, for something. Like they became brothers or some crap about that. He saved his life. He offered him something. I couldn't tell you much more though. That was just rumors mostly.
Interesting and a bit concerning. I found his son.
He never had
Or
a
someone who
son.
claimed to
He
be.
was a eunuch.
Well, that's
Knew it.
concerning. Well, then I found him. And he doesn't look like he's aged that much.
I say, if he's alive, he should look like Grom. God rest his soul, wherever he might be.
Well, I'm going to guess it has something to do with the new traits he picked up. I'll have to keep a closer eye on him.
Nods at that and shrugs and goes, couldn't help you much more than that. I know that he was one of the top warriors of his time. Good, pretty respected dwarf. He killed a Venkos. Um, yeah. Beyond that, don't know much else. He did disappear, I think, after your father got captured, but I didn't know. I thought he just got killed, or he was, like he basically died.
But I'm glad to see most of the at least what's left of the old guard here,
He nods.
and
Yeah.
seeing the town lively.
Yeah, I got little James is somewhere in there. Your he kind of looks at it, goes, about half of them are gone, or that aren't gone. Those that still stuck around the city aren't doing too hot these days. Oh, what was his name? He kind of like, you see him like thumbing through his beard as you can see the whiskey starting to kind of take hold of Jurgen a little bit, and he goes, ah, shoot. The fat one, he did pass away about 2 years ago. This disease got him that made his big toe grow in size, and apparently it was his bad food diet. Boy ain't nothing but fattening meats and a lot of salt all his life, I tell you. No chance. So, beyond that, the rest managed to make it. Although, to be fair, given what your brother's done, I don't think many of them will be interested in ever serving a Frostbuster again. It wasn't exactly a good parting on that.
That's why I've kind of made a new name.
Makes sense.
I took the name that I built for the company and turned it into the clan name.
He nods at that.
So, I'll be rebuilding the keep, and should people wish to come, I'll welcome them.
I'll put out the word.
Here.
I wouldn't recommend it as far as it goes. Most of the people ain't gonna be taking or leaving the city much these days, given the damn dragons keep attacking our people, or the damn sorcerer chick keeps popping around. I tell you, that quest board was worth it.
I can try to help with at least one of those problems. I don't trust myself against sorcerers anymore. James gives a 1,000-yard stare. Every encounter with hags.
It's the lightning bolt. He can feel it coming again. Syndra's ready this time. Not gonna be like a Lar. Syndra's prepared to take on a lightning bolt.
But
good.
Dragons might be within the wheelhouse.
nods at that and goes, well, if you're interested, we've got a few decent adventurers in the area. Most of them have taken on the clan, or the quest to take out the Bronzite clan's upper ranks. The Great Worms, the Elder Worms, the adults, all that. Yeah, Great Worms, air quotes, and he puts his fingers up. None of them are, from my understanding, have done their rituals or any of that crap, but few of the elders of their clans are being hunted by them. We've got, as he kind of like nudges his chin over towards a large board where you can see a bunch of papers kind of spread across. We got a few jobs over there, and the one that for the younger and adults pays good. Money, as far as the money goes, and it'd help a lot of merchants out who've been trying to get out of here, who can't travel, because it ain't just in the south anymore. They've been attacking us everywhere.
I'll see what we can do to assist with that then before I take off again.
If you want problems to fix, half the city doesn't even have running water anymore. I mean, there's a job up there for water beetles. So, shoot, at this point, I mean, you can do a lot of good around here if you can. He kind of looks over at it and takes another
Heck,
his
I
last
wouldn't
drink.
even have to go after the water beetles, technically. I do already have a schematic for something.
He shrugs and goes, beyond that, I mean, a few jobs, but it's up to you on what you want to do around here. If your goal is to help the people and bring back an interest in the clan of Frostbuster, shoot, you got a better chance of convincing us to go and fight for the Venkos.
No, not fight for the Frostbusters. I'd rather ask you all to help me. I'm a little selfish like that. You should know that.
He shrugs and goes, yeah, well, we'll see if you can do it. Your siblings have said the same thing. None of them have managed to do much.
Oh, don't get me started. Apparently, I know that one that they have up there isn't one of them. Isn't blood related
Oh,
by
Drag?
any means. Yes.
Of course he's not. He's not even a bastard of your clan. He's a member of a clan called Broken Hammer. They've been destitute for centuries. I mean,
Well,
how
did you...
mean, hmm?
You want to hear something a bit funny? Grandsire actually had a rule for who would take over the clan.
Never met your grandsire, but I'm not surprised. Your father was weird, so it makes sense.
They had to bring him home.
Good luck convincing your clan members that's the case.
Oh, I have all the proof. I
Yeah, but-
brought him home. Well, what's left of him.
Yeah, but it ain't your family you gotta convince, at least not your siblings. It's the people who run the city you want to talk to. Rolf probably wouldn't be a bad one. Heathier, looks at you and goes, maybe even, I mean, if you really want, you could try to get Lethem on your side, but, I mean, he's got a hatred for you that goes deep.
I'll have to do my little bit of diplomatic walking arounds.
He nods and goes, good luck on that. But remember, your clan, while it may rule the city, rulers get unseated constantly. It's the blood of the merchants that rules this city.
Why do you think I went and became one?
He smiles at that and goes, yeah, I did, as he kind of leans over and claps you on the shoulder and goes, and we're all proud of the little James grown up. Oh, if only your uncle
Well, I
could
mean-
see you.
Which one?
Grom! He was a good
Oh.
man.
Don't worry, he knows. I met him.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, if you got your grandsire in a shield, I imagine. He was a good guy. Grom saved my life once. Not literally, but your father caught me, almost caught me in bed with one of the maids in the outhouses. I got lucky.
Is that why
Grom,
there were locks on them in the later years?
Grom came and knocked on the door to give me a warning as his brother was coming back, or his cousin, brother. I can't remember how the two's relation.
Relative.
Regardless, he kind of smiles at it and goes, he hadn't got saved my ass. She wouldn't have been able to get out of there before, and I wouldn't have been able to hide in the ceiling. Your father would have caught me, and I would have been ousted, or at least gotten 20 lashes. Shoot, I mean, he came on every expeditionary fight with us into the woods. Guy was more obsessed with protecting the city than we were. Hell, your father shouldn't have been the heir to the city. It should have been Grom. But it's not my position, and I was nothing but a young guard at the time, not even yet a royal knight to the noble house.
Yeah, I should have. Then I got sold to the fucking dragon pits. I just down alcohol.
Looks at you and goes, "You."
Grom had a bit of an oncoming with the succubus, and this is what became of
Yeah, trust
him.
me. The female form's not willing.
And looks you up and down and goes, "Yeah, you're Grom, right? He was last seen in a prison cell in Dragon's Crown. Went there to get him out myself. We lost so many good men trying to save him. There's no way that you're him."
I drop. I've had this since the story thing. A letter covered in blood that is a message about the experiment in the dragon's pit.
Looks.
It's on the table.
As you do, kind of, let's take it out of your pocket and kind of lay it down. Now the blood browned from time and kind of almost blackened in parts. It's somewhat sticky as the paper kind of unfolds slowly, and you can see tendrils of the blood kind of sticking to itself as it pulls apart. And he looks at it and kind of looks up at you and goes, "Wait, you're..."
Yes?
Does that mean that the others get out? Did my father make it?
We all made a break for it. Different directions, as you'd imagine. I don't know.
Sighs for a second as he kind of looks. You kind of see him staring down at the empty
Only-
glass.
Only worked out. Heck, I only got out because other people were fucking with the pits. Stronger people.
He kind of nods at that and goes, "If he's out
What?
now, he'd be old."
I'll go back
Keep
for him.
an eye out.
I'm just not ready yet.
If you go back for him, you come find me. I'll join you for that fight. We'll take it to those fucking dragons. Damn lizards.
We'll
And
We'll have
don't
a
worry,
chance.
you'll both be equipped with what I can craft.
have a good chance. Dragons look like they're gonna go to war with the giants. What better time?
There's been whispers about that. The Venkos want to keep the throne quiet and keep all of us down, but people don't agree with it. And there's a lot of whispers for war and want to go fight. We're tired of killing each
so-
other. We want blood from someone else.
Yeah.
There's
Shit for
also
that.
the problem. We need to shore up our own defenses. Otherwise, as I gesture to, I've reference to the dragons that have been attacking. Otherwise, we're just getting picked off.
Also, the war's happening, and trust me, Venkos aren't going to be a problem. It's not exactly a secret. Most houses are looking to, well, they haven't been doing a good job, and the houses aren't happy.
He nods. There's a lot of commoners who have spoken up, and there's question of leadership. There are some voices that are starting to unify, but none have come out full. Though, I have a feeling at the rumored King's Moot there'll be movement. Go ahead.
That's the point. I'm curious with so many commoners speaking. What's Hugstari up to? Seems to cohort with the commoners more than anything.
Kind of looks at you for a second, and kind of smiles and goes, "What do you mean?"
Just curious what he's doing. Is he really just making commoner lives better, or have you heard anything?
Kind of looks at you and kind of takes a second, and I actually have to remember who the fuck that was. Give me a minute.
One-armed guy, not liked by his father.
Not liked by most of the nobility because he
called
treats
it the
commoners well.
And he's called the Big Brain Thinker. Was his name?
Oh,
was his nickname?
the Snowbeard guy. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Sorry,
Got
the guy commoners with tax breaks and stuff.
Yes, I remember now. As you kind of mention this, he kind of looks at you, and you kind of see a puzzled look on his face for a moment, and he kind of looks back at his men, and looks back at you and goes, "I've heard no whispers of such a name. To be honest, I'm not familiar with it."
Strange. Could have swore it said. Well, it's not important. I'll look into it later.
Kind of eyes you for a second at that as the waitress comes over to sit down another round of drinks as she smiles. At this point, you can see he's about 7 shots in. He is hefty into his cups.
Good for him. We got what we needed.
Yeah.
More or less.
It's true.
Yep.
As you kind of continue to eat, he kind of looks to you, looking to see if there's anything else you want to ask. As he kind of smiles, finish downing his last shot.
I can't think of anything.
Oh,
Outside of
oh, there's one. I don't remember her name. The side clan member. She seems to have a thing for taming dragons.
Ah, yes.
What's she up to? I've only heard she's basically isolated.
Kind of looks at you for a second and goes, "Many of the members of the clan are being moved about, from my understanding. The Frostbusters have began doing a lot of work. We're not told much. People just vanish. One day they no longer run shops, and we're left without anyone."
Not a fan of that. Alright.
I will say, as far as what you're talking about, her ranch was raided on the outskirts of the town. Some say by the sorceress. My men believe it was the advisor himself, as he wasn't a big fan of hers and her constant challenging of his power.
I'd like to talk to her about something. Well, things happen. I'm guessing her dragon eggs and such vanished as well.
Kind of looks, and you see a smile on his face, and he goes, "Somewhat, they are, but not fully are they gone. Just like everything else in this city, things go missing quite often, and people have a tendency to vanish, their notoriety vanish, their names vanish. You know, it can be an issue." As he gives a wry smile.
I mean, it's all Cinder needs.
As he kind of looks over at James and goes, "You have
James is
nothing
giving
else."
him a smile back and going, "No, but thank you for making time for us today."
Of course. As he kind of stands up, you see as he leans down towards Syndra as he kind of walks around the table and whispers into Syndra's ear, and he goes, "Jizbel Lithia, we'll see you in a few moments. Knock on the table twice, and then head to the back." As he turns and walks over to the bar, and giving a smile as he bows to James, and he goes, "Good luck, young Lord James, with your new territory. I'll put a note to all the warriors that come in that you are hiring and looking for strong backs and pay well."
I usually do.
As he kind of walks off over towards the bar and kind of goes back to serving the men, who seem to be laughing and joking, as he kind of immediately seems to change from this kind of not cold, but he less. He wasn't fully warm person, seemingly keeping some of his wit about to him, now to almost like he is fully just engrossed in having a good time as he goes and joins the bar. But as the three of you are kind of left sitting there, I mean, no one can hear you guys seemingly as you're kind
I
of sitting
passed Syndra a letter because I did write one for her
there. Oh, okay.
for the nice little dragon tamer that. Feeling you're gonna see here sooner than I will, so I'll pass this off to you.
I mean, I'll take it and I'll do as he told me to have my meeting.
As you go and kind of like knock on the table real quick, James and Roman kind of looking at you, but Roman finishing his second plate, and as James kind of finally starts eating now that the talking's kind of finished, Cinder, as you kind of stand up, you hear something kind of creak in the back of the building, and as you start to kind of walk towards that direction, leaving the two of them there, you see as one of the statues with a full armor set on it seems to kind of be slightly pushed into the wall with an indent. And as you kind of start to walk through, although it seems dark, you can somewhat make out what looks to be a table, a chair, and three figures sitting around it. Are you gonna go fully in, or are you gonna, because you have the option here, standing at the door to go to if you want to back out now. No?
I was told I didn't get my meeting.
Okay. As you walk, or as you push in and close the thing behind you, it seems to clamp shut. And as it does, the lights kind of glimmer. And inside, you see Jezbelthia, Lugrum, and Jorgen.
Oh, I wish I would have given you all 3 letters. Fuck.
And not the Jorgen, not Jurgen, but Jorgen, to make very clear.
Well, the contents only changed by name. Great. Have fun.
Good, they can all read the letter. Excellent. Easy life.
As you see all 3 of them kind of sitting in there drinking and enjoying, they seem to be talking about something and go silent as you kind of walk in.
Does the thing close behind me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Didn't want to be overheard.
Mm-hmm.
You 3'd still be alive.
Just Belthea kind of looks up at you and gives a polite smile. Her kind of, actually, let me pull up my images here. I totally didn't just find my note for this. Give me a minute.
You're good. I wasn't expecting to meet until like next session.
No, yeah, I had to go and find my image or my notes for their images. I'm like, I know who you're talking about. By the way, the guy you were looking for, the big or the brain dude, is no, you're looking for Jorgen the Weird was his name, or Jorgen.
Well,
no,
no, Hungary is a countrywide thing.
He's from a different city.
Clan.
That's why I'm curious about like wide rumors.
Oh, got you. Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Which means rumors aren't spreading here right now due to the effects of what's going on.
Yeah, also because of something else, which I mean, you'll catch on to eventually, I imagine. Probably, who knows? All right, let's see.
Or I'll leave and never know.
Yeah, that's true. As you kind of stand there, you do see the elderly lady, a small dragon kind of perched on her shoulder. Her crunched up face and long silver hair kind of braided to either side. A few pouches on her chest that she kind of pulls a pinch out of and sprinkles it onto some food as she kind of picks at it with a fork. She kind of smiles at you as she looks over at you. Next to her, as you look on, you see Frosted Hilt, who looks to be a little bit more normal in appearance. His thick monocle is kind of on his face, a full smith's attire kind of worn, but he looks to be very old and venerable in comparison to what you were expecting. His meat looks to be already chopped up and very pounded as you kind of look at him, kind of just beginning to pull it up and chew on it slowly. Much of his teeth, as you notice, missing as he kind of slurps on it loudly. And then the last one, Jorgen the Weird, who sits with his staff his serpentine staff kind of pushed up against one corner of the wall, and the rest of his attire kind of a mix of what you recognize as lesser apex creatures, kind of skins made into a leather and made into a druidic cloak of sorts with some wooden plates kind of mixed in. Yeah, basically, the White Lotus meeting begins exactly as Syndra, basically acting as Uncle Iroh, walks in, which makes James Prince Zuko. Oh no.
I mean, doesn't it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense to me.
Way too much sense for me. But as you kind of walk in, before you say anything, we're going to take a quick, about 5-minute break to grab water, run to the restroom, as we also wait to see if Roland's going to come back, or if not. And we will be back for those viewing at home within a split second. For those of us here, we will be a moment. All right, after our quick little break, we return once more to the latter half of the session as Syndra walks into this room. James and Roland just having a pleasant conversation, kind of keeping their eyes out on the crowd as they will eat and enjoy themselves. Really a good rest for the first time in the hometown, you know. James kind of enjoying the atmosphere. Syndra walks into the most tense White Lotus meeting one could ever go into, with characters that are almost twice her level, all on average, as she steps in and sees the gathering of the 3 most powerful members left of this clan.
They might be higher level, but I have completely unfounded confidence, and that's all that matters.
Like a brand new
bard walking into a brothel.
It's
your
true.
confidence is unshaken.
As you walk in, though, you kind of see the three of them relaxing and enjoying themselves, chatting amongst themselves slightly. But as they quiet, as you kind of step in, taking a seat, old lady Jezebelathea kind of smiles at you with a toothy grin and lightly pushes her chair back, hearing the creaking of her bones as she kind of stands up and walks over to the back of the room where a small little kitchen is kind of set up, grabbing a plate as it is painfully silent and slowly taking a minute for her. She puts a few pieces of meat on the plate, cuts them up, and then puts a few other things on there of some what looks to be local vegetables, and kind of slowly shuffles back over. Her wormling kind of staring down at your plate, drooling onto her shoulder, as she kind of shuffles over and hands it to you and smiles, and then goes and sits down. As she does so, she looks over at you and goes, "So, dearie, what can we do for you?"
Well, other than a letter delivery from a nephew, didn't mind seeing you three again. It's been a long time.
Jezebelathea kind of
Although
smiles at you at that. Good.
I look a little different, to say the least.
Oh, Grom, I can still tell it's you. I changed your diapers after all. Your mother was useless when you were young, and I had to take care of you the entire time. Trust me, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
I've seen all of the parts. Although I will say, I'm a little upset that you became a demon while you were gone and gave way to the more powerful ones. Not very unlike you, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do to get out of jail.
If I didn't make a deal, more than likely, I'd be a gore splatter on the floor like everyone else that was down there.
Yeah. You didn't tell Jorgen that wait, was I right the first time? I was right the first time. Jurgen. Did you tell
You're right.
Jurgen that his father didn't make it?
I told him the truth from my woozy mind that I don't know.
That boy continues to hold out hope. He is an old man at this point and thinks that an older
Oh,
man is going to make it.
I was basically dead on my feet when I got out.
I know. I saw all of it. Wanted to help, but sadly, my little dragons that could help you were busy dealing with other things. And she kind of pets the one on her shoulder.
Eh, it's fine. I managed. Some crazy screeching dragon started killing other dragons. It was a good time to leave.
She nods at that and goes, "Yes, the dragons are a fickle creatures, but they are sweet when you manage to tame them. Lesser beings that they are. But please eat and let me see this letter." As she kind of like reaches over for it, the other two kind of still silently eating as Jorgen the Weird is snuffling as he eats, his mustache like moving as if he snorts like a boar while he chews.
I'll handle her and be like, Nephew James apparently worked long and hard on this one.
My grandnephew James is still alive. She takes it, looks at the letter. Goes, "I thought that boy would be dead by now, given what happened to the rest of them."
Alive and well, multi-million gold business.
I'll be honest, my eyes aren't what they used to be. Why don't you read this off for me and tell me what it says? She kind of hands it back to you.
Not one for flowery speech, but I'll give you the basics. Wants your assistance, more or less, in putting a proper ruler in place if possible, although that might have changed. I saw some things that might make that not possible in that castle.
Oh, you saw the demon, huh?
No, Pride himself.
And you hear the other two kind of stop for a second as they look towards the old lady. She kind of smiles at that and goes, "Well, looks like I was right about one thing. And that explains why I was able to kill half my stronghold and beat my babies down. My big one, Bluey, was such a good boy. Who did not deserve the treatment he got. I hope he tastes good."
Luckily, he didn't see it as worth the time of annoying my forced backer, as it is.
Yes, I can see that you and young nephew James are in the same situation. Do you want help with that, or are you looking to enjoy and to take advantage of it?
It is helping me move forward, which is partially what I'm here to talk about.
You
Oh,
always were ambitious.
yes, and luckily it lines up. Young James wants me to play villain, as it were, to clean up the country a bit.
And he chose the psychopath locked up in prison. Oh, maybe my
It
grandbaby
works.
isn't as bright.
It works out. My goal is not against his, although more people than he's probably planning will die. No one he'll care about.
You know, what James never grasped, and most of that branch never gasped like my brother, is that the Frostbusters are great craftsmen. Fantastic as they were. Loved dearly by the kings of old and even kings themselves. You know, Frostbusters always needed someone to do the dirty work. A clan that were good warriors. And I always knew you'd live up to what I did. Keeping my brother safe and maintaining his legend was my only job, and I took great glee in what I achieved, because he is one of the greatest craftsmen in the world. Well, was. I think we can assist you with this. What do you have in mind?
James's idea, as the primer to line up, seems to be to put Bronzebeard in charge, but Bronzebeard won't be able to lead for probably a few years while he gets his affairs in line. James mentioned making me a Queen Regent, as he put it, for a few years. Have our chance to clean house before I'm marked as the villain and be killed, as I make quotation marks, where I move to my grove and quiet afterwards.
She nods and goes, so you want us to what? Find all the traitors, bring them to you, help in a coup?
A coup? No. I'd be the ruler. But no, I can do that part myself. I have rituals to set up, power to set up. As you can imagine, even if all of us work together, things like those demons aren't exactly to be fought without preparation.
Better not to be fought for any reason.
But in front of me, I have a powerful caster, I have a great craftsman, and I have a dragon tamer. I don't know about you, I'm looking at a pretty good setup for us all to gain out of this. It just comes down to what you all want.
She kind of looks at the other two, and you see as Jorgen the Weird kind of snuffles as he coughs slightly. Some bits of dragon meat kind of splattering onto the plate as it does, wet and chewed through.
Yeah, the young Frostbark heir made it safely to his destination, as far as I heard, by the way.
I can feel the James message after at the end of that. As you mentioned that, though, she kind of nods at that, and as she smiles and goes, I can't promise our support immediately. Any wise Snowbeard knows better than to make a decision upon hearing a request. But I will promise that we will consider it and give you a decision within a day.
Of course. I'll be here at least the next day. If you decide no, that's quite all right. I just ask that you, don't act when I start to move, if that's your decision.
Oh, son,
I won't get in the way you.
We have nothing to do against the royals these days. They think we're dead.
Yes.
So do it.
And the Vencons are about to be outed of their own house in about 6 months.
We will see about that. The Venkos have been the royals and rulers of these lands since the Snowbeards formed. I doubt that they'll be outed anytime soon.
Well, they'll either be outed or the nation will be embroiled in war. So.
An interesting idea.
Bronzebeard is quite eager to be ruler. He's built up his forces quite far, along with a few others.
More could come. She nods as the other two seem to nod to that. And she kind of looks at you and goes, but the strongest of the Frostbusters always remember that our family stands strong by always picking the right side at the right time. We're infamous for it, and we will stay that. She looks at you.
But regardless, if things don't go my way, I'm still going to move in the background and do what I have to do. It just won't have to do with either side at that point.
She nods and goes, I can't promise you anything yet, my grandson, but we can definitely come to a decision by tomorrow for you.
Yes, of course. Here, as all. It's kind of customary at this point. I put a bag of sand on the table.
She kind of looks at you, looks at it, and goes, a ritual you picked up from the dungeons.
Mm. Most messaging spells are quite trash, as I've realized. Whispering Sand is just easier.
She nods and goes, I'll keep the sand within earshot then, I guess.
Of course, after all, if something happens, I'd like you to be warned. With what that demon was talking about, I don't trust he's not going to make a move tonight or similar.
I appreciate your concern as she kind of smiles at that and goes, but we have nothing to worry about. We're dead. He knows that we don't exist. There's nothing to worry about.
Very well. So I'll kind of finish my food and get up.
Yeah, it take a couple. It's really good. It's actual dragon meat that's been really well prepared and is not poisonous, as you don't have to make a single save while you eat it. It's tender, it's juicy, and it tastes delicious. As you get it down, kind of finishing off last couple of nibbles of it as you turn and head back towards the door. The statue doorway seems to slightly push in, and as you see the handle pop out and pulling it and walking out. You feel a hand on your shoulder as you suddenly look back and you see Jorgen the Weird just staring at you as he's right in your face and just giving you a very big smile as you can smell the rot from his mouth coming out.
Yes, Jorgen?
He just shakes his head and then pats you really hard on the back again and then turns and walks away.
Oh, at least I got one that seems to like what I'm doing. Sure, why not? I'll roll with it.
As you look at him a little bit confused and just kind of shrug, accepting it and head out, walking out. You see James and Rollman kind of finishing their plate. Rollman having finished all three of his plates that he had ordered. James finishing off the last of his as you go to kind of sit down with three of them. Rollman,
how'd it go?
Yeah, to catch you up, you're in a tavern inside the city, just to kind of make it easy for you.
Quick up now. Met with the family. The kid on the road doesn't know seemingly anything. It's been convinced James is killing family members. The demon is apparently not going to make a move that affects us for my natural lifespan, which is a terrifying statement. Being immortal. So, but he did agree. Oh, and this is the same one that killed the Langlebig and walked out from right in front of us in Greg's Lands.
That was a long time
same
ago.
Guy. Mm-hmm. Yep, same guy. And he's willing to give us information on a few things, like what happened to some of James's specific family members, where they went, who did it.
Okay.
To get James out of his hair, as he put it.
Everyone wants James out of their hair.
Yeah, which means we may be leaving, but we might go dragon hunting before we go to make life a little easier for everyone.
Yeah, there's a small younger side dragon clan that's attacking the one of the borders of the snow.
And they won't have any implications if we butcher them from the larger clans. They don't give a shit.
Most adventurers are moving to kill them anyway.
Okay.
So we'd be part of a large group, and we'd be hunting the ones on the younger side, because other people are hunting the ancient ones and the bigger ones.
We're taking out the ones that are actually being nuisances rather than the ones that are big and scary.
That's about it. I put the other stuff that we heard in chat, so you can just scroll up.
Okay.
As you as Syndra though sits down, sliding in next to James, as the three of you reconjoin, the bubble still active as the little lyrium or death or light glimmers for the fact that we don't want to get sued by BioWare. As the spell continues, it still seems to muddle the sound from around the tavern, kind of almost keeping it down to a very light background noise. Syndra, from what you could tell, even seeing as James and Roman were having a light conversation, you couldn't hear anything as you walked past, as you were walking up. But as the three of you sit down and gather, what would you like to do?
Well, how'd it go?
Enjoy talking to ghosts.
Your letter's been delivered. The kind people would think about it.
Oh, that's all I can ask.
They asked for a day. We'll
That's
be here
good.
till tomorrow. We'll be here till tomorrow anyway.
Yes. Well then, about how much longer, as I think on it, do we have till the feast?
Well,
Or
it
banquet
is about like 3-ish in the afternoon. Usually, a feast is going to be around like 5 to 8. If you want to show up early, 5. If you want to show up when the food's done, 8. And so you've got a few hours to kill, but you could also just spend that kind of wandering through the town, or
We
just
probably
hang out.
should. I like 5 or 5:30 because we're the ones the feast is for.
That is true.
Well, it's a feast in our name. Yippee!
Yep.
Yeah, it's a feast in our name to get us the fuck out of here faster.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Let's say,
Nice.
as you look around, taking a little bit, kind of having a light chat, I will also post, if you want to use this to kill an hour. You guys, do you see the quests on the board? Oh, can I actually send this? Oh, nope.
Those are a nice quick one we can do that definitely won't, spiral into something crazy.
They always do, you know that. That's how it works.
Oh, it'll be fine.
There you go.
I mean, we can solve the water request in like a day.
Oh, we have an hour.
Raiders, the water request. Well, they just want it's payment per like sack of water, which we could literally go to the ship.
It's true.
3,000 gold per sack of water.
Mm-hmm.
Per water, yeah, internal water sacks that need to be brought back to the city.
Which that'd be a pretty quick, because it's apparently nearby. What's Tremors? Old Shrine. Lands. Much of the land is haunted. Not to mention any of the larger bears. Okay, so see what's causing tremors at a shrine. Sure. Oh, hey, it's the guy that wants James to leave. That's putting up the request.
Uh-huh.
King Tutu.
I will say, as like Cinder kind of
Oh, it's
pulls those
Pride.
off and brings these over and sets them down. These quests look to be a little older. They look to be dated a bit as they've been sitting up there for a while. A couple of them look to have pieces of them torn off slightly, but otherwise, yeah.
Oh, Little Jaw on the loose.
Yeah, a hippo. But you know it's not just a hippo, because look at that reward.
Yeah, no, that's one fucked hippo. It's eating bearded cold bears and furry mules.
That does sound fun. Whatever monstrous hippo he's cooked up does sound interesting.
As Cinder just kind of like looks at it and starts picturing
I wonder
in her
what its
head.
teeth are
We
like.
could tame it.
Yeah, right?
No, why do you want to tame it?
It's like what Essa did with that wolf
Battle
that
hippo.
she got.
Yeah, we're not. None of us are animal tamers, James. I hate to break it to
Syndra,
you.
do you think you can tame the battle hippo?
I think it's
Hold
gonna
on,
eat Syndra.
Let me look at my. I can try. Yeah, I actually have a decent animal, surprisingly. Not great, but decent. So what? The ones we can actually do in the time frame is maybe Little Jaw if we move quickly. We can at least look at the tremor area, and we can at least see where the for the water requests.
I will say, my implication was not for you guys to go do these quests. It was just to review them so you could
Yeah.
strategize
Yeah.
and go around town to find out
Yeah.
info. Not.
So
But if you want to kill a hippo in less than an hour, that that'll be a record.
Look,
Speed run
Rowan
a hippo?
cracks his knuckles and it's rooted.
Thing is, like, oh man, this is nothing compared to the Hydra nest. Shoot, one hippo.
One
like a
fucking
warhead.
hippo? Drop me
My-
from the ship. I got
My
this.
warm up today. Yeah.
I mean, the tremors does sound interesting, James. Going to the shrine of the first snowbeards might also. Maybe it's got some funky shit or something. Yeah, that'll affect
Well,
you.
Yeah,
I can go ask around. Apparently, as I've learned, anyone that doesn't know what I am sees me as a beautiful woman of snowbeards. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Essa kind of points over towards a few of the men that are kind of drooling over her as they watch from the distance drinking.
You could make a
guess.
career out of that.
we can go. Roland and I could walk around and get information on some of these other ones. Should we just?
I can
spend
talk to
time-
them. Look, I don't mind moseying up to drunks to learn things, but you owe me.
I only
What
asked
do you
to do
want
that.
before? Let me ask how much it's gonna cost me before we go moseying on up there.
Just craft me something later. I don't care.
I've been meaning to craft you something anyways.
Not-
I'll get it out of the way.
Not that much.
You keep asking for something to turn your blue ice into something. I got an idea.
Sounds good. Sure. You two get on. I'll make some friends.
Okay.
As Rollman and James kind of push their plates, having kind of finished them for the most part, Rollman's cleaned his James for the most part. As the two of you kind of get up and head out, start walking out of the tavern. I mean, it's still pouring down rain. It's still kind of like springish and cold. So like it's still somewhat wet and miserable, but people seem to be out having a good time. Fires are lit in pretty much every building, as you see people kind of ducking for cover as they walk about the town. But as the two of you head out, we'll start with Syndra, and then we'll get to the two of you. Syndra, as you kind of stand at the bar seeing Rollman and James head off into the rainy storm that's going on outside, what are you doing?
Well,
I'm going to do this the fun way. I want to roll gather info for things on 2 quests, just what's around. The Dragon Clan, because I feel like that's probably going to be talked about with all the adventurers moving. And the I'd also like to roll con, because I want to make this a drinking game of Syndra drinking while learning.
Yeah,
Drunkards talk a lot.
you're also immune to poison.
give me a fortitude save and a gather information as you go to sit down.
Yeah, the gather info's a 24. Now let's see. I have a high fortitude, so let's see how this goes.
Let's see.
30 fortitude.
Surprisingly, you are drunk after the first shot. It is strong as you see Jurgen kind of come over and pour you what you recognize as Frostbuster whiskey. A black whiskey that is said to be made in the gut of a dying dragon, and is basically not only spicy but also has a very strong oaky flavor to it. So as you kind of like take a sip of it, I mean, it's not enough to knock you on your ass. Like you see the others at the bar who also got similar shots, who are almost out unconscious immediately, but you know it hits you, even with a 30. It was you.
The people see I drink it and I'm still standing.
Yeah, as you do see, no one else is going really near you to bother you right now, as even the bartender's kind of eyeing you up a little bit. But as you look over and kind of, as you're drinking, and as the shot kind of is being poured, listening in, on the Bronzite clan, you do hear a bit more. First off, you hear that there is an adventurer in town that is ranked at Oventium Talon rank himself. He is supposedly here to kill the head of the Bronzite clan that is expected to show up within the week. The other little bit you get is that most of the adventurers that are also part of his group and the group that have showed up are all quite high ranked, many of them standing at least around adamantine or higher. Which is very unique to see this many gathered when they're so expensive typically. An average adventure, as you see for quests, is like 500,000 gold pieces at like level 10. So like, imagine someone who's like level 18, how much that's going to cost a city. Basically the idea. Now you spread that out across multiple people and you have an issue. As you kind of gather that means someone's funding this, because there's no way the Last Spire has that kind of money, even if they had the greatest year of crafting ever. There's just not enough people buying items like that right now at that more amount of wealth to move. As you kind of listen in more, you do hear the Bronzite clan is also supposedly planning 2 separate raids, which is where they're expecting the clan to be attacked with the main force, and the smaller force to be able to strike. The smaller force is supposedly also mostly militia, as you catch on, and young adventurers trying to prove themselves, who have yet to actually achieve a rank amongst the guild. Which, to your knowledge, also means they're basically, and as you may not remember, actually, the best way I'd equivalent it to would have been what Essa had to deal with, which was the dude she pushed over after finding out he kind of almost killed the party. which for those who don't recall, that was the Drek thing. But to Syndra's mentality, this would be basically the equivalent of like low rank adventurers who don't really know what they're doing. Kind of like when you got first timers go out and take on missions and end up into inexplainable situations, like a herd of Dracs suddenly attacking them because they accidentally did woke a whole horde of them up. But beyond that, yeah, nothing else kind of catches your attention as far as for the Bronzite clan. And then the other one you said was the Tremors.
Yeah.
For the old shrine, the only little bit of information you get is that supposedly the shrine sits on one of the biggest tombs of the first few members of the Venkos and the first dwarves to come above the out of the Deep Dark or the Underdark. Beyond that, there's not much else that seems to be spoken about. Most of the people, even that you try to kind of poke at it a little bit, pointing at the quest, even trying to walk over near the people who are looking at the board, most of them seem to be avoiding any sort of subject or anything about the topic at all. So.
Oh, it's bad. Okay.
But otherwise, as you kind of go back to the bar and enjoy the fact that people are leaving you alone, but kind of listening in to the crowd, just kind of watching to see if anyone unique kind of pops into town. I mean, this is the best inn in town. You're gonna find someone interesting here. We'll pop over to you. We'll come back to you in a moment. James and Rolliman, as you two step out of the tavern and see kind of out of the back of your eye, like Cinder walking over to the bar. It's raining. It's cold. The ground is sloshing with mud and some snow. It's just terrible weather out. But people are jolly. They're laughing as they walk through. Many of the locals, as you remember them, Rollman, having been here before yourself, as well as James, you guys kind of recognize the happiness of just the cold weather and the miserable weather that the people of Last Spire always seem to have. As people are singing, drinking. Huh? Yeah. Exactly. And as you kind of stand there looking about, kind of pulling up your coats a little bit to kind of keep a little bit more warm after walking out of a warm building and into the chill of the snowy, the slightly snowy ice roads, what would you like to do?
Your culture is strange, James.
It's fine. It's just how we roll, I guess, or how we act. Well, we can look into, since I think Syndra will be looking into the Tremors and the Bronzite clan, we can look into that hippo and possibly the water. Well, I think the hippo and the water request have something in common.
In what way?
Read them. Read the water request.
Oh, hey, look, it says a little jaw right there. That's crazy.
Rolliman, who during the conversation as that you guys were going, was mostly focused on the amazing food he was eating. Like, the great
it was pretty
top
good.
quality food. Like,
so we can look into Little Jaw and then and then that'll probably solve at least a portion of the water request, and we can also solve the clean water problem without going after the sacks.
This also implies, though, that Little Jaw will not be on its own and will be a herd of hippos, not one hippo.
what do you mean?
That is very much true.
So, I'm asking if you've seen any herd of hippos around lately.
Let's get to information hunting, I guess, and see what we come up with.
Like,
I'm not touching the mad sorceress, though. That's not worth it.
in the distance, as James says, as eerily the thunder roars and lightning cracks in the sky.
What have you done?
James just remembers for a moment and just shakes his head. Your coldness gone. No, yes, I love it. Oh, the hippo's cake. As you kind of start to walk out into the street, there's a couple of shops that are kind of prominent. But the biggest place people are gathering right now, besides this inn, it seems to be as you look up towards the hill, and kind of on the other side of town is the Temple of the One-Eyed, where free liquor and booze is being handed out as something's being celebrated, it seems, from what you can tell even from here. Music's still pretty loud.
I'm not going
everywhere.
there.
Why not?
I pissed that priest off.
Like, individually, or, like, was I involved in this pissing off?
This was
when we
last
first arrived
session.
at town.
Yeah, this was last session, so 6 months ago.
Because I refused to listen to
cool.
him.
Yeah, because he's a member of House Venkos.
Well, I can go and talk to him. Or talk with the peoples there.
Because Roman,
I
like,
don't
pats
trust
his
either one of us
plane,
wandering off
basically.
alone.
Good.
I don't trust either one of us wandering off alone, because there's still a chance you get whisked away by this mad sorceress. Or I do, and neither one would be exactly good.
James kind of eyeing up some old lady that walks by that looks just slightly out of place to see if she, you know, as he's a little concerned.
Now, James, there's no guarantee that
Or
if
you
we
could
do
get
get this
kidnapped by
way,
any of my or you could get kidnapped by any number of my cousins.
okay. Well, that could happen right now. For honest.
Yes, it could.
That's true.
So, what purpose did you have in saying that?
Reminding you, be on guard.
As James is looking around.
Am I ever
hoping-
not? I start walking towards the temple.
Yeah.
When you were digging into that burger earlier, you definitely
I was
weren't
totally on guard. No one would have gotten to you.
As Rollman starts walking, James, not wanting to go there, just starts following him as Rollman's continues to argue with him. James completely absorbed into this conversation as the two of them continue on. Before you know it, James.
Woozled me for the last time.
Yeah, before you knew it, James, as you look around, you're suddenly standing at the end of the long line of people who are waiting to go into the temple.
My charm, it knows no bounds.
As an old lady gives
One
a
of these
wink
days,
towards
I'm gonna make you a
Rollman.
weapon that just farts at you.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
As you guys are standing in line, people kind of start lining up behind you. The line's moving quite fast as people are kind of going into this grand, beautiful church. This terracotta, sprawling single-story building with beautiful gray shingles that are each designed with what looks to be an eye into the shingles themselves. The furniture outside that setup seems to be massive wood tables that are quite finely decorated with bits of silver and platinum. The platinum kind of catching your eye, James, as you haven't seen platinum in the Snowbeard lands before. That must be very valuable or rare.
Yeah, I only recently brought in a chest made of it.
Yup. As you kind of get closer up towards the front of the line, getting up towards the building and the little overhang it has before entering in, you see Letham, the youngest of House Venkos, kind of standing there in his churchly robes for Sarazeki, his staff with a little beholder on it, as he smiles over at you and goes, "Oh, so you decide to join us."
Well, I'm a member of a very different faith, but my guard wished to see it, so I acquiesced.
And looks over at Rolleman and goes, "Ah, you must be the legendary bodyguard of James the Ironheart. I forget your name. I believe it was Rubman?"
No, that is not it.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, I do apologize. My name is Letham of House Venkos."
Pleasure to meet you. Name is Rollman.
Rolleman is a kindness to meet you. I hope you'll be able to join in our conversion today. Are you a brother of the One Eye?
Not yet.
One who'd be interested in seeking out. I welcome you in. As he fully starts to put his arm around Rolleman's
You
hip
give me a hug?
and starts to
What?
pull you into the church. Rolleman is slowly away from James as he just leaves James standing there as he walks you in, guiding you, kind of not
Information
aggressively.
gathering, activate.
Yeah, give me a gather information as he kind of walks you in and starts walking around the church. James kind of following behind. Good.
Yeah, I'll gather information as well.
Yeah.
Talking to people and seeing what I can do.
Feel free. Let's see
do
what you got.
this.
My amazing modifier.
I know. Oh yes, 12.
12.
Let's not forget my amazing modifier.
I was gonna say, usually you roll nat ones or nat 20.
Hey,
so
we the same modifier.
it's still, oh my god.
Isn't that funny?
And it didn't roll. My gosh.
Nope, didn't. I think you had to type roll. Or exclamation
roll
mark.
down.
Yeah, I did the wrong one.
Yeah. I think the exclamation mark.
20 plus 1, yeah.
Hey, oh, hey, same roll.
Hey!
So you guys here, thankfully you got the same information. So as the two of you are kind of walking in, as you kind of start to space out, ignoring what he's saying, Rollman, as he's giving this whole religious pitch, talking about speaking from his Bible. As you kind of start to listen in, you do hear a lot of the commoners talking, and both you and James kind of catch. It's a lot of them seem disgruntled. Many of the topics seem to fall in line along the idea of the advisor stealing money. That drag's got to be embezzling. He's too young to be a ruler. We could do better than that. We could find some. The temple of House Venka or the temple of the One Eye would be great rulers. House Venkos would be better members of this house and rulers of this city than the Frostbusters. The general disgruntledness seems to be very loudly spoken, for as much of it is whispered as many people seem to be gathering around the conversation and joining in. The general morale, from what you can gather, is about maybe 50%. It ain't very good, and many of the people don't seem to trust the Frostbusters as you kind of walk through.
Do I get handed free booze?
As you get up to the front, Lethem kind of sits you down in a cushioned pew with what is infernal spider silk cushions. He kind of like looks at James and just sighs and points to the seat next to Rolman as he walks over, and he comes back with what looks to be a cup of what looks to be this deep red wine and a wafer cookie, basically made of barley. It smells like basically a biscuit. As he kind of leans over, hands it to you, and goes, "Please, take our holy belief. One is the blood of the One Eye who blessed us with the resistance to the Red Plague, and the other is a piece of his flesh that allows us to be one with him and truly be fed by him." Exactly.
Can I see if this is spiked or has some sort of magical effect before I eat it? Or I'm not going to eat it, period. But I'm going to check it anyway.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
He's gonna slide a hand, listen away, and it's just gonna be terrible.
No, I'm just going to say I'm not going to drink it because we have a feast later. It's a perfect cover.
It is, and it's a noble feast, so it's not like the guy can really say no, right?
Yeah. Survival. Oh, yeah.
Religion with a smidgen of fidgeting. Yeah, exactly.
Another amazing modifier.
You got the... Oh.
6.
Oh. Well... You kind of take a sniff. The cookie smells fine. You look at the wine, looking at it, smelling it. Looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a little bit expired. It's cheap wine. You can tell that immediately. That kind of offends you a little bit because, at the end it was like for less than 5 silver pieces, you got a glass of whiskey.
My apologies. We have a feast in our name later, and I don't want to spoil my appetite.
He looks at you and nods as he takes it back and goes, No worries. You can come for morning mass. It'll be fine. We join as the sun rises to honor our great being and recognize his holy word upon and his soon-to-be resurrection.
I see. I will have to check my schedule, and I'll get back to you.
No need. I'll send a courier for you in the morning. You can let us know. I'm coming to this banquet this evening. Fun fact.
Really?
So yes, I'll be joining you. I'll be happy to sit beside you and tell you all about our affairs.
I'd like to sense his motive.
Feel free. What are you trying to get?
If he wants to annoy
How
me.
invested is he in coming to the feast?
All right, we're gonna see him die at the banquet, aren't we? Syndra.
That'd be awesome.
I wouldn't say no to that, honestly.
Syndra,
Red
dark
wedding.
thoughts.
That's just me, though, and I don't think I should be the end-all, be-all for our little thing with that.
Right. Oh,
let's
nice.
see.
He seems like excited, like generally enthused that he's going. I mean, as you kind of look him up and down, he's a lesser noble. This is probably the best chance he's gonna get at good food, other than what his church can provide, because he's no longer a noble status as a bishop.
Well, that will be an interesting time. I hope you'll enjoy your time there then.
He looks over at you and just kind of gives a slight, a little bit of a glare and sighs and goes,
James is being
"You
generally nice
as well.
and giving a kind smile.
I will be
Yeah, I think
happy
he knows. He
to
doesn't care.
see you there as well, young Lord James of the clan Frostbuster." As you see many of the peasants around that are kind of enjoying the cookie and wine, kind of suddenly look over towards you, and you can hear the whispers about you, James, without even having to roll.
Oh, I don't need to. I was planning on running damage control next.
As he kind of looks at you and goes to turn and go put down the bottle or the glass of wine and the cookie, and he kind of looks back at the group and begins to, starts to step up onto the pedestal, and he looks over across the crowd, who kind of still coming in. He goes, "So we are gathered," and begins to go into it as he opens this large leather book and flips to some random page that you're not sure if he's actually reading from it or if he's just pretending and like pointing at a portion of the page.
It's the Book of Randicus.
But as he speaks this out, the two of you kind of sitting there, Rolman, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
Okay. I look.
As you turn and look back, you recognize the young woman's face of Lady Rambunctious.
Hmm?
The same woman who chased you through the door into the keep that, as earlier when you weren't here, though Rolman saw this, bent the metal chair that you had put to block that door when she tried to get in to chase after you.
Was this the last session?
Yes, this was last session.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I remember.
This was
They
the
escaped.
cousin.
This is
Yep.
bad.
She led the crowd.
Yeah, she did.
As I'll
We are
slowly
currently
turn.
Good.
in a holy place, so I think any rambunctiousness would be bad.
She giggles at the use of her name, and she goes, "You remember my name?" And she is like all smiles, and she goes, "I look forward to seeing you at the dinner tonight." She gives you like
fuck.
a really awkward wink that like looks like she's like trying way too hard.
James will look over. See you there, dear cousin.
"Oh, James!" She like pats you on the shoulder and smiles, and you see the preacher kind of like looks over and waves, and she kind of quiets and sits back again in her spot. As he continues on, a few of the older people kind of whispering and making comments about her, chiding her. But this preaching it goes on for about a good another hour before he finishes up, and people kind of get a chance to get up and stretch their legs as he kind of comes down, seeing you two still kind of there. Well, actually, would you two stay there, seeing as you're sitting at the front pew, or are you gonna try and sneak out?
You know, look, if I'm not going to damage his reputation any further by trying to sneak out.
All right.
You think you won't damage your reputation further by trying to sneak out?
No, I'm probably going to damage it further as I leave anyways.
That's true.
Roman would advise you just to fucking sit your ass down and wait.
Oh, I'm waiting. We're going to wait the hour,
Okay.
then I'm going to do damage control as we leave. I'm going to roll diplomacy as
Okay.
we walk out.
That sounded like you were just leaving in the middle.
Roland just kind of like
No.
hands slightly ready to grab you out the shoulder in case you got up. Like, no, you're sitting here.
James sitting there very uncomfortable. James does not look
Uncomfy.
perturbed, but you Roland would know he's not comfortable with this.
I'm chilling.
As the speech though finishes up, he kind of the guy gets off, or Lethem gets down from his pew, walks over to you, or down from his pedestal, walks over to you lot, smile on his face, big. As he kind of coming to walk over to you lot. A few old people kind of walk up to him, and he stops and he starts shaking their hands, smiling, wishing them well, and kissing their hands, letting them kiss his ring as he kind of pats them on the head, casting minor healing magic and such, healing so many of their aches and woes basically as he stands there. Eventually, as the crowd slightly disperses, he starts to walk over towards the two of you and smiles and goes, "So what do you think, young Rolloman? Aren't you convinced of his holiness, or do you need another experience yet to really appreciate his almightiness?"
Certainly
The urge to say,
splendid.
dead God. But, not doing that.
Go ahead, Roland.
It was certainly splendid.
He smiles at that, taking it fully at face value, and goes, "I appreciate it, you. It is so nice to see the simple folk of your people be able to comprehend and understand our greatness and our God's greatness. You, true, will one day be able to rise and become as great as us. I truly believe that. It is unfortunate for your filthy heathen brethren, but, we will purge and purify them one day."
That's certainly
That's that
a
James is going
statement.
to stand up.
James just kind of stands up immediately, looks over at James, and just gives a slight smile and goes, "I do apologize. I understand you. We have to be on our way. The banquet is only going to be in a few hours. I'd be happy to allow you guys to go. I know you have things to do. I need to prepare myself and take care of the woes of my sheep and herd here, as I am their shepherd, as he gives a quiet smile
Oh.
that's very creepy,
I fully
James.
understand that. It's alright. You must be a bit out of practice when it comes to dealing with nobility. You do great work as a bishop.
Kind of catching the slight insult, looks at you and goes, and kind
That was a nice compliment, James.
of gives a slight bow as he turns and walks away.
Meanwhile, James turns to leave, and if he hears as I know there's grumbling, I will try to roll diplomacy.
Oh fuck!
What are you gonna say?
Damn.
Generally, it'll be apologies for how things have been going for everyone. James doesn't like it, and I'm here to try to fix at least some of it.
Okay, gotcha.
I will also burn a second level spell slot
Uh-huh.
as I'm walking out for divine insight on this. Make my life a little easier.
Rolls a nat 1.
35!
Okay. As
Diplomacy.
you say this out loud, and kind of try to let the people know as you hear the grumbling, kind of stopping and speaking to a few of the people, they seem to take...
Oh,
What?
Continue, sorry.
Oh, okay. They seem to take what you're saying in stride, kind of nodding along with it. You get the impression many of them seem to agree with you and see you more and more as a man who understands, but there does still seem to be a slight disgust towards you that you catch that doesn't seem to go away regardless having been a wealthy individual all your life from their perspectives. Many of them, while they take your words to mean hope, you also see many of them are still slightly jaded and do not fully believe you.
That's understandable.
As you two walk out, heading out into the streets, it's cold, it's rainy, it's wet. There's ice and snow everywhere. But the guards kind of let you pass as you see the two scaled individuals, both standing about 6 foot, 6'5" and clad out in full plate as they kind of watch you pass by.
The damage control was good for once.
Where are you and Rollman heading back to the tavern to meet back up with Cinder for the time being?
Yeah. We don't have much to really do. We're all kind of already in our fancy clothing.
Well, I assume you're not while you're out in the rain and snow, but
it's a quick change for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. So I assume that's yes, you're heading back to Cinder.
Yeah.
Okay. As the two of you head back in, it takes another half an hour or so of walking. At this point, you've burned about 2 hours as you head in, seeing Cinder kind of enjoying what looks to be a dark drink of something that smells strong as you walk over to the bar. Much of the tavern seems to have somewhat calmed down and cleared out. As you kind of enter in, you actually see two snowbeards pulling a third from the ground. That is, as you can see, or assume at this point, Cinder's latest victim from her drinking game, as she, as you can clearly tell even from here, is slightly drunk at this point, with her cheeks glowing bright red.
Getting drunk before the feast?
When you can choose to be drunk and not drunk at the drop of a hat, yes.
That's certainly a luxury.
As you kind of walk over and each will take up a stool, sitting down, you see as Jurgen, I'm never going to get that right, Jurgen comes back over, sit and kind of looks at you three as you sit at the bar, and smiles as he pours a round of whiskey to you each, and goes, "My recommendation is don't drink the ones that Sindra is, and you should be fine," as he gives a nod and kind of pushes it fully towards you.
James looks at the whiskey, just slowly pushes it back. Not to be bad luck with drinks.
Oh, I see. You want this one here? I'm willing to share.
Cinder pushes her drink over, takes yours and downs it, and kind of pushes it away.
James, don't drink that. You need to be coherent. I'm gonna drink mine.
My wits about me for what's
I
about
can make you recoherent. Go.
Rollman, as you take this drink, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not a strong whiskey as you take a sip of this thing.
Does it
He's
taste
definitely
good?
giving you the light one. You definitely taste an oak to it, but beyond that, there's not much else. As you see Roman kind of pushing the cup back over towards Syndra, and James just kind of looking at it. Good.
Syndra, you swear you'll make me recoherent before we have to be there, right?
As long as you don't fall unconscious, but that would mean you're really weak.
As Syndra says this, you can see you can see looking over behind Syndra another Snowbeard who is being dragged out with the same cup that looks like Syndra's laying on the floor next to him.
I think that's what
I'm
happened to that guy.
immune to poison.
so is Syndra, and she looks drunk.
She's got a smile on her face. It's a good
And
day.
Syndra, I think, is a better fortitude save than me.
Yep.
Look,
What's
James, if
your-
you're not confident, then not falling
11.
unconscious, then don't drink it.
Mine's 12.
Hey, that's higher than mine.
And my rolls are usually shit, so I will pass
All right. As you
politely and just go. I just need to be coherent for what's to come.
as you three kind of sit there whiling away the hours, kind of relaxing, just listening to people, watching people go by, just seeing what's happening. You see a few adventurers that kind of pass by that say hi, giving their contact information to James as they kind of seem to be interested when he brings up some future questing info and future quests with the Ironheart Merchant Company. But beyond that, nothing kind of happens. As the three of you eventually find yourself summoned, as you see a courier kind of calling for you to bring you to the fortress itself and to go to the banquet. As you kind of head to the doors, you can already see Letham himself being carried by four slaves. Look to be unfortunately Roman elves, as you see them basically holding him in one of those like Roman carrosses where it's like two men on each side.
Palisades.
Yeah. Oh, palisade. That's what they're called. Thank you. That doesn't sound right, but it might be. I'll check. But yeah, as he heads up, the courier kind of looks at you as you walk out, and you see on the right in front of the door is basically the same thing, but set for 4 people with 8 elven slaves.
What's in him?
What's that, Roland? What'd you say?
Wait, are we at the feast? Is that
No.
where we're at right now?
Oh no, I
No,
said that
we're-
you're at the bar. Like as you see this,
Oh.
like the carriage waiting for you outside is basically 8 instead bigger than Letham's, but with 8 elf slaves instead. Palanquin. thank
Pulling
you.
it?
No, holding it on their shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I understand.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting choice of travel. How far
Courage.
away is this?
It's literally like 100 feet up the hill.
I think I'd rather walk.
You know, that's usually limited to like high kings and like popes. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm fairly uncomfortable with that.
He's saying something despite his rank.
The courier kind of looks at you a lot as James says no and Rollman says no. He looks over at Syndra and kind of like waiting to see if Syndra's gonna get on.
You want it by yourself?
I am here.
As
Fuck it.
Syndra kind of climbs on. 2 of the like elves like rush forward to let Syndra step onto them so that she can get onto the carriage as they like slightly lift it up. As you step on under them, Syndra, you hear their back cracking under you, and the second one seems to slightly give a
Heavy.
slight cry as you step onto the thing.
Good thing I'm not
That's
heavy.
what I do.
Like,
Yeah.
far worse.
True, you've seen fatter dwarfs ride these things.
Far worse they could be carrying, to be honest.
As the 18
Yeah.
like lifts it up and starts walking up the thing, as you two walk alongside of it. Heading up as you get to the gates, you see as Drag kind of smiles at the gate to the castle itself as you kind of come up to the courtyard. He waves as Lentham kind of stands up and kind of walks off his carriage or palanquin and then heads inside without even acknowledging Drag. As you lot walk up, Drag kind of sees this and goes, "Oh, I'm so happy one of you rode on the carriage or the palanquin. Otherwise, we would have had to kill the slaves for failing to do their job. And I always hate having to kill slaves before we eat. You know, it just upsets my stomach."
Imagine if they walked up here, they did do their job.
That's not what my
If there's
advisor
none, that's not.
says.
Oh.
We'll talk about some some extra teachings.
But brother, he says that all elves are lesser beings and should be treated as dirt.
I immediately look at him, give him the older brother look of, don't say this.
He does not seem to acknowledge and goes on fully as
Drag,
if an
drag,
untrained
drag,
child.
drag,
In his
stop.
eyes, you're not his brother. He doesn't care.
Drag, stop.
What? It's true. Listen, I recognize Rollerman's a good guy. He worked hard. He's a hero. He's the best of his people. It just sucks his people are so uncivilized.
The world is much bigger than you'll believe.
Oh, yeah.
Many people will surprise you throughout time. Trust me.
Oh. Elf still got the sub-brains the size of peas as he turns and walks inside.
I mean, he's right about some of them, I'll be honest.
Rollman, was I ever this much of a little shit?
Yeah, probably at some time.
Sir Rollerman thinks back to the amount of times that he had to bail you out in random conversations.
I am so sorry.
There's a sudden reason why Rollerman's good at emergency charisma checks. It's called babysitter mode. It activates whenever Rollerman senses James
Once
is
we
in
step
trouble.
inside the, once we step out of the rain, I'll switch to my merchant gear.
Yeah, as you step inside the fortress and kind of follow down the waiting hall, you see the large. You take a turn in towards another room that opens up to a massive room, able to hold about 10 long hearths that kind of keep the entire room well warm. As a long table is set up with a massive amount of your family. It was not just your siblings. There is over 300 snowbeards in this massive room. That are all members of your family, including as you start to see your siblings who are mingling amongst the party, as you start to count, as well as the advisor and even a few other people that catch your eye. However, that is where we're going to leave session today. We thank you all for watching. We hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I have been your Friday Dungeon Master, and we hope you will see you guys for our Sunday session.